Yeah. What's up? It's the Buckles Malachi Williams in the building. We back. New media today, USA Boxing. We are back. Yes, y'all. Happy Friday, man. Happy Friday. And you know what we're going to do, man? I promise you, this is going to be a good show. It's going to be a good show. Y'all, man, like this video, man. Share this show. Please share the show, man. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like button. Share the show and help us grow. You know what I mean? And we are the hottest, and I mean the hottest boxing podcast, daytime boxing podcast. Not the hottest boxing podcast, because there's some good ones out there. There's a whole bunch of good ones out there that I like. Shout out to my brother, Jules from Ring IQ. He's one of them. A bunch of them out there. It's a bunch of them out there that I really, really like. But we got the hottest daytime boxing podcast in the YTBC. 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, hands down. You know what I mean? We're going to make it do what it do. We piss some people off over here. We do that. We piss some people off over here. We do rub some people the wrong way. We do that. That is true. But hey, at the end of the day, my intentions is to take it right back to what? Boxing. That's it. That's all I care about. Boxing. All the other stuff, the political stuff, has nothing to do with me. I'm not involved in it. Again, I don't get a check from nobody. So it is what it is. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and drop the link for my main man, seeking he come on. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Sending a link to somebody. Sending a link to my brother right now. I'm sending a link to my brother right now. That's what I'm doing. Hopefully that'll make it do what it do. Anyways, man, let's give everybody. Hold on, we got to get to 100. Once we get to 100, that's when we're gonna get into the show. But until then, let me go ahead and holler at a couple of people. Shout out to my sister Bless 365. Shout out to my sister Bless. I just ate some almonds. You know, almonds are really good. Almonds are, you know, you have good fat and you have bad fat. So some of your good fats come from almonds, pecans, stuff like that. Almond butter. A couple other things I'm forgetting right now. But those are your good fats. And then you have your bad fat. So, all right, we good to go. Let's get it. Now, shout out to my sister Bless 365. Dessine, what's going on, fam? Shout out to my brother Bruce Gas in the building. As a matter of fact, let me go on over here and look at it the way I'm supposed to look at it. Shout out to your avocado, olive oil. Yeah, really good fats. Yep, you're right about that. Shout out to Old Dirty Boxing, man. It's so dirty. Shout out to Knockdown 305, Dade County's finest. Boom, boom. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Boom, Boom. Shout out to Connect. What the link read, my brother. Shout out to Come On, Son. You know what I mean? Shout out to Dragon Bean. What's happening, fam? Pooh delivers on what the link read. Drumming for life. It is what it is, man. We're gonna make it do what it do. And let's see what we got, what we're looking like. Let's get into the show. I'm not gonna keep everybody waiting. Fuck it. They'll fall in. Let's get into the show. Now, question I have is this. Are Tank Davis pay-per-view numbers fake? Show you guys where I'm going at with this. A lot of you guys are not on Twitter. On Twitter, there's a war going on Twitter. I told you, Twitter, it go down on Twitter. It be going down on Twitter, man. It be going down on Twitter. Twitter is a whole nother world from Facebook. From YouTube. What else I have? Errol Spence. Errol Spence. I have something about Errol Spence as well. Him on Twitter. He's talking about guys who were arguing on their lives for 7-8 hours about twin. Shout out to, I think Rick Glaser was on their show or something like that. Who knows? I didn't know. Somebody told me about it, but I didn't see it. But Errol has something to say about that. We're going to go to that as well. As a matter of fact, let me write this down because I will forget it. You guys know me. I'll be like, if I don't take notes, I'll be forgetting shit. Okay. Go to Errol Spence. Twitter. Should already have it up right here. As a matter of fact, we're going to do that. I'm going to just do that right now. Let's give everybody a round of applause who was here. I like to pull it up. I can't see ya. Yeah, man. This how this how we get it down over here, man. This how we get it down over here. And we gonna have a damn good show today. I can promise you that, boy. Y'all know me, man. Y'all know me. I come with it, day in and day out. Don't make me no never mind. However it is, however it is. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you. Let's do this. Are Tank Davis pay-per-view numbers fake? Where does this come from? Oscar Dela Hoya says that Tank does less than 100,000 pay-per-view buys. Leonard Ellerbe says Oscar is lying. He's lying. Our brother Leonard Booger, I like to call him Booger Ray. That's his boxing name. His boxing name is Booger Ray Leonard. I like that. Kind of reminds me of it was this defensive tackle that played football for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was the defensive tackle. His name was Booger McFarland, and he was I think he used to play D tackle right next to Warren Sapp and stuff like that. Played for the Buccaneers. But anyways, in a recent interview with Fight Hype, Oscar Dela Hoya says that Tank Davis's pay-per-view numbers are not what's being reported. Dela Hoya says that he knows the real numbers and they are less than 100K. Rick Glaser also said the same thing in a post a while back, right? What we do know is this. This is what we do know. What we do know is Stephen Espinosa of Showtime stopped releasing the pay-per-view numbers. And I'll let you guys figure out why he did that. The PBC, as we know, the PBC as well as Showtime, they do not give out pay-per-view numbers of their fighters. So any fighter that's doing pay-per-view, they don't tell you the numbers anyways. You have no way, or there's people in the background who have ways of knowing, finding out stuff, stuff like that. But they don't release those numbers. They used to, but they don't all of a sudden, right? Now, some of the times, like I say, guys, on Twitter, I'm on Twitter a lot, right? Sometimes you have people like Michael Benson and Mike Coppinger. They always come out with what their sources say. Sources tell them that this fighter sold this amount of pay-per-view buys. Their sources tell them, you'll hear Mike Coppinger come out. Well, his sources say that, hey, Errol Spence did this. Tank Davis did that. Yeah, and then we know ESPN, they released their numbers. ESPN released pay-per-view numbers, so there's no mystery with that. But that's always those sources say, guys, right? These guys who are well known in the industry, but they never, they don't tell their sources. I think the only guy who ever told the source was Rick Glaser that I know of. But we heard no sources say type reports, should I say, from these same guys when it came to Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz. You notice Mike Coppinger and Michael Benson did not come up with the sources say pay-per-view sold for Tank Davis and Isaac Cruz. They didn't come up with the sources say pay-per-view sold for Luis Ortiz and Charles Martin. They didn't come up with the sources say pay-per-view sold for Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios. When it come to other guys, all of a sudden they sources say this and that, okay? Now, I wonder why these guys selectively leak out information when they want to push a certain narrative, because that's the way I see it. And to be honest, all of these top guys, in my opinion, are either telling the truth or they're lying. Somewhere it can't be nowhere. It can't be in the middle. Either you're telling the truth or you're lying. There's a reason why Showtime and PBC do not release their pay-per-view numbers. There's a reason why they don't do that, right? Now, if you expect to get the truth from these promoters or network executives when it comes to pay-per-views and contracts, you are delusional. These guys are like politicians. Their job is to lie to the overall general public in the sport of boxing and to trick you out of your money the best way that they can. This is what I'm saying. And this is the way that I see it. And I'm standing on that. Do you guys believe that the networks and companies lie and they leak false information to the public about the pay-per-view numbers? That's a question. Good question, right? Do you guys believe that Oscar Dela Hoya is telling the truth about Tank Davis's real pay-per-view numbers? Since we have no way of knowing, no one says anything. Showtime don't say anything. Mayweather Promotions don't say anything. PBC don't say anything. So we don't know. You see what I'm saying? Why do you think Stephen Espinosa, all of a sudden, think over the past few years, stopped revealing pay-per-view numbers to the public when he used to release those numbers in the past? Those are good questions, right? And as a matter of fact, my brother is here, man. Give him a round of applause. My brother, Jules for Ring IQ. Let's give him a round of applause.
What's good, Coach?
Man, I'm sorry about that, man. I just looked and realized you was there. How long you was waiting?
Oh no, I was there for like 5 minutes, but I'm glad that you set it up the way you did because those are all questions that need to be asked. Most people forgot that Showtime, they did used to, or at least you used to hear more about what a pay-per-view did, not but 2 or 3 years ago, but little by little over time, you saw they stopped reporting what they were saying. We didn't get a preliminary number or anything for Davis versus Cruz, but for Davis versus Romero, it looks like they exaggerated a bit because initially they said, well, it'll top out at 275,000 pay-per-view buys, but you have to pay attention to the language. They're not telling you it did 275. They're telling you it will or it could get to 275. That when it's done, when we're done counting, it looks like it might be 275.
Mm-hmm.
So in reference to what you mentioned about Oscar, I believe the truth is somewhere in the middle. I believe that perhaps Gervonta Davis has done better than just 100,000 pay-per-view buys, but certainly less than what's being reported. And what these are leverage tactics. They don't want you to know Gervonta Davis's true market value because then his opponents, like a Devin Haney, like a Ryan Garcia, like a Shakur Stevenson, can turn right around and say, hey, wait a minute now, don't act like that with me because this is what you're good for. You're good for 170,000 pay-per-view buys, not 200,000, not 300,000. You're overestimating your own value. That's why they like to keep the numbers and the actual market value of the fighter under wraps because they don't want you to know what he's really good for, that he's not really a cash cow because he can't finance a good offer to Devin Haney.
You know what, Jules? It's amazing you say that because now, I have a master's degree in common sense, just like you do, my fellow Capricorn brother, and they don't, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but if they're not releasing these numbers, Showtime don't say nothing, maybe other promotions, PBC don't say anything, then am I to believe these leaked reports that come out, that come through Michael Benson or Mike Carpenter, and this is no knock on them, they're probably reporting what someone told them that may be close to the situation, but we don't know, right? And I'm not getting into whether the person does this or does those numbers. You know what I mean? The reason why I'm bringing it up is because, like you say, they like to use that as leverage. You see a lot of people online arguing, debating, threatening people, saying they're going to pull up, arguing about these fighters' pay-per-view numbers. Because a lot of these guys online, Jules, as you know, they live their lives vicariously through these boxers. So I guess they feel like any success that this fighter may have that they don't know is their success. So, and they try to run with these certain narratives, but I like to ask pertinent questions like yourself. Now, wait a minute, man. Okay, you saying he did this and he did that, but we don't know. And then you put this out there, and then everybody knows that my fighter does 200-something thousand pay-per-view buys. No, we don't know because you never revealed the numbers. And you never even told us what he did. Somebody else who came with a sources say report told us what he did. And these YouTube channels, who you probably have control of, said it as well. So no, man, no. It could be a possibility that these guys are using smoke and mirrors, like you said, to use as leverage. To use as leverage. You see what I'm saying? And that's a good possibility because they're not telling us what it is. You know what I mean? Well, what do you think about that, Jules?
I mean, you look at the guarantees to a successful pay-per-view. Wilder versus Fury 1 was likely the only successful pay-per-view that Wilder and Fury had because that's the only one that wasn't a box office flop. And most people don't know what a box office flop is. It's not based on a specific number of pay-per-views that it sold per se. It's based on the operational costs of the fight. What did you guarantee to the fighters? That dollar amount versus the dollar amount that it generated. That's the only fight where they yielded a profit because Bruce Trempler himself says they lost money on the second fight and the third fight sold less than the second fight, even though the guarantees were comparable. Whereas if you pay attention to the first fight, the guaranteed purses to the fighters came up to $7 million, but the pay-per-view sold 325,000 pay-per-view buys. So you can see there's definitely a profit margin there between what it did at the box office and what it did at the gate based on low operational costs. That's the key word.
That's the key word. Low operational costs. That's the key word. Yep.
There's a profit margin in there. So you think about that, 325,000 pay-per-view buys. Not the biggest success, but certainly a big success. And then you look at Gervonta Davis, right? You look at what his numbers look like. It's like, well, if you really were that successful at the box office, you'd be able to guarantee Devin Haney at least $3 million because that's what Tyson Fury was guaranteed. You'd be able to guarantee $3-4 million if you really were broaching 300,000 plus pay-per-view buys. But we all know that you're not, because when we look at what's reported to the commissions in terms of guaranteed purses, $500,000 to Isaac Cruz, $500,000 to Rolly Romero. These are not huge guarantees. So it seems to me that you can't afford Devin Haney. You can't afford Shakur Stevenson, because those guys are great fighters too, and they're not going to fight for peanuts on the dollar. These are champions. One of them, an undisputed champion. You can't hope to get him in the ring with anything under $3 million. If anything, he just made $2.8 million being the B-side to George Kambosos in Australia. You can't get a guy like that in the ring with anything under $3 million. And what did we hear Leonard Ellerbe say? Oh, well, it's good that he made money at Matchroom, but we're not going to guarantee him that. They're telling on themselves if you pay attention. They're telling on themselves. Like, y'all don't got the money to guarantee Devin Haney.
Jules, you hit the nail right on the head. Now, we've been hearing another thing that me and you both on Twitter, and Twitter's the Wild Wild West. We've been hearing this word cash cow. I saw your video. Let me tell you something. This is one of the most beautiful pieces of work that I've seen. The way you fundamentally broke it down, because cash cow, face of boxing. I think Leonard Ellerbe, and shout out to Booger Ray Leonard. Leonard Ellerbe said that Tank Davis, did he say he's the face of boxing? No, he said all roads.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
yes, he did.
He's the face of boxing. I think Ishe Smith said something of that sort. He's the cash cow, yada, yada, yada. Explain to us, okay, what is Anthony Joshua? What is Canelo Alvarez? And what is a Tank Davis or Errol Spence or a Terence Crawford or anyone else? Let's please explain to the audience, what is a cash cow? What does that mean? What is the face of boxing and what is a cash cow? And please break it down the way you broke it down on the video, man. I got it saved because I was going to do a whole show on it, but I want to get your permission. But I'm going to do a whole show on it later on. But go ahead.
Well, a cash cow is essentially the boxer that draws the most at the box office. There can be more than one cash cow present in a given era, but a cash cow, the characteristic of a cash cow and the defining characteristic is that they draw the most at the box office, so much so that they can offer their opponents life-altering money that they can't make on their own. Like when Anthony Joshua offered Charles Martin $8 million for his IBF title. He offered him $8 million, even though Charles Martin wasn't an $8 million fighter. He wasn't getting that on his own. Not even Deontay Wilder, the only other champion at the time. He wasn't making $7 or $8 million a fight at that time. And that's the defining characteristic of a cash cow. That is your Floyd Mayweather, your Oscar De La Hoya, your Mike Tyson, and before them, your Sugar Ray Leonard. These are the guys that not only do they draw the most at the box office, but they can offer you the most for a fight. Whereas Errol Spence Jr. and Gervonta Davis, they're not necessarily cash cows. What they are is moderately successful fighters that when you put them out there, they can bring you some money back, but they're not necessarily cash cows, because if Errol were a cash cow, for example, they wouldn't be bickering over finances right now. They wanted to say that Spence versus Crawford was a bigger fight than Canelo versus Golovkin 3. But when you think about it, Canelo versus Golovkin 3 is done. Spence versus Crawford isn't. They're bickering over money as we speak. If Errol really were a cash cow, he could offer Terence a career-high purse the same way that Canelo Alvarez gave Caleb Plant a career-high purse. Money that he can't make on his own, fighting anyone other than Canelo Alvarez. That is a cash cow. Generally, that's what all cash cows are. Your Floyd Mayweather, your Oscar De La Hoya, your Sugar Ray Leonard. In this era, your Canelo Alvarez, and to some degree, your Anthony Joshua. Because look at the money that Usyk is set to make for this fight, approximately $40 million. Now, Usyk is a highly skilled guy, great guy, but he is not a $40 million fighter unless Anthony Joshua is involved. And that's the defining characteristic of a cash cow.
Oh my God, that right there. Hey, listen, that's a mic drop right there. That's a mic drop. So in Wakanda land, and this how I broke this down the other day, Jules. You have, like you say, you have low operational cost fighters. I like to call that the Chitlin circuit fighters. They're hot, they're popular, they're cash cows, and with your local corner, with your local liquor stores in the hood, and on the chitlin circuit. So on chitlin YouTube, because you have the YTBC. So the way I like to call it, Jules, you have the chitlin circuit version of the YTBC, and the chitlin circuit. Those guys are popping. It don't take much to be popping. If you got a Cadillac, you got a Cadillac. You got you some ice, some jewelry. You got some people. You do good at the gate. When people come see you and stuff like that. That's what that is. Now you can't afford to pay nobody big money like a Canelo can afford to pay people, or a Joshua can afford to pay people. So if you can't afford to pay these people, and you got a promoter that's saying, I'm not going to pay you $3 million or whatever the case may be, then that means you ain't got it.
Exactly.
It's not there.
Gervonta Davis, I want to say this because I give him a lot of shit. It's not that Gervonta Davis can't draw. He can draw. He generated $5 million at the gate, so he definitely can draw. Yeah. And he is moderately successful with some, not all, some of his pay-per-views because they're not in the negative. They actually do turn over a profit, but why? The operational costs are low. It don't take an arm and a leg to pay Isaac Cruz. He was a stand-in. It don't take an arm and a leg to pay Rolly Romero. He's not a star. He don't have a following. He's not a multi-million-dollar fighter. So as long as you're fighting those kinds of opponents, yeah, you're going to stay in the black. You're going to stay making a profit. But you'll get in the red if you try to get a Devin Haney. You'll get in the red if you try to get a Shakur Stevenson. Why? These guys are excellent fighters. They're not going to fight for peanuts on the dollar, and you're not a cash cow because you can't afford them. They're not going to fight you for $500,000 like Rolly will.
Right. You know what? The key word is this, like you said, man. Like, when you're fighting certain fighters, they're making career high paydays. If you can only afford to pay me $500,000, then that tells me your drawing power right there. And low operational costs, $1.5 million guaranteed. We're gonna get you the rest on the back end. I guess an incentive-laced contract or whatever the case may be. So I get it, I understand. I'm not knocking anyone. That's how they do things. That's how they do things. And I'm not saying any names. I'm just throwing it out there. As it relates to what Oscar De La Hoya, and I know you've seen what Oscar De La Hoya's been saying. Him and Leonard Ellerbe has been going back and forth. And Oscar De La Hoya says he know for a fact what Tank Davis's numbers are. You know what I mean? He know that, he might have was exaggerating a little bit. I don't know. But he said they're under 100,000 buys. So the way I took it was, and he said this on Fight Hype, the way I took it is though Oscar's like, look here, man, these guys are creating some type of illusion that this guy is doing better numbers than what's being reported. It's not being reported by Leonard that he's doing 200 or something, almost 300,000 pay-per-view buys, but it's being reported by, Michael Benson. He'll say sources say, yada, yada. What's the other dude name? Mike Carpenter. He'll say according to sources, but I'm like, okay, y'all ain't have no sources when it was Isaac Cruz, when it was Mario Barrios and Thurman, and when it was Martin and King Kong Ortiz. Y'all didn't have no sources then. You see what I'm saying? So it seemed like they selectively choose when to release. Sources say, so, this fighter did 200 something thousand pay-per-view buys. Why do you think they selectively do that, in your opinion?
Well, the rule of thumb is if they had something to brag about, they'd be bragging about it. The Isaac Cruz fight is likely the fight that Oscar De La Hoya is referencing, because that was a tenuous situation. Like, you talking about, they was building up a Rolly Romero fight. 2 weeks out, Rolly can't fight. They pull him out. They pull in Isaac Cruz. Well, that's not the fight you were building up. I don't know that anybody was that interested in Rolly, but at the end of the day, that's not good for an event that you're promoting. That 2 weeks out from the fight, you pull the guy you've been promoting out and swap him out for someone that no one knows. So when Oscar says that he heard that this guy's pay-per-views are doing under 100,000 buys, it's likely in reference to that one, because if any one of them flopped, it would have to be that one. I don't know if the Rolly Romero one was a flop. I don't get the sense that it was, but I do get the sense they're exaggerating, because they always exaggerate. They exaggerated about the Santa Cruz numbers. They exaggerated about the Barrios numbers. They didn't even bother to report the Isaac Cruz numbers because there's nothing to brag about there. So when you see that they put a number out there, you got to take it with a pinch of salt. That, you know what, if you say it's 275 or it could be 275, you know what I hear? 225. And when you say 225, I hear 170. If you say 150, I hear under 100,000, because they are exaggerating and they have a reason to exaggerate. Leverage tactics. You can't A-side Ryan Garcia if he knows what's in the books. If
Right.
he knows what's in the books, he can haggle. Like, wait a minute, you're not that much bigger of a draw than I am, because this is what you're doing and this is what I'm doing, and that applies to all these young fighters that are out there. It's an illusion that Gervonta Davis is the only guy you can fight to make money when Devin Haney made $2.8 million without you. George Kambosos made $10 million without you. I know Shakur Stevenson's going to at least have $1 million, maybe a little over $1 million for Shakur when he moves up to lightweight, because I think he got something like that for the Oscar Valdez fight. These kids ain't starving without a Davis fight, but that's the illusion that they want to create, that unless you're fighting Gervonta, you ain't making no money. You ain't drawing nothing. Well, that's not the fucking truth. The truth is you're lying about his numbers for leverage tactics. You want leverage over all these young guys, and you don't really got it like that because you can't afford all these young guys.
You know what? Like this brother right here, he said that this brother right here, what the guy's name? I just looked at him. He said Joshua. What he said? This guy named Joshua Furlong. He said he was basically saying that Tank Davis, not Tank Davis, but Oscar De La Hoya and Oscar and Ryan Garcia lies all the time. My thing is, okay, cool. All of them lie all the time.
Yeah.
And I think the issue is what I see going on online. When you and I tell you guys time and time again, I choose the side of boxing. When you draw a hard line in the sand and you pledge allegiance to certain fighters and promotional companies, your mind is, you already have these preconceived notions in your brain that, hey, whatever they say, I'm running with because it supports what I want to believe, my narrative. Instead of being objective and being a critical thinker and being objective, you take the subjective position, and whatever a certain promoter says, whether it's Leonard Ellerbe, whether it's Oscar De La Hoya, or network executive, whether it's what's the guy from Showtime, Stephen Espinosa. Yeah, Stephen Espinosa, or whether it's Bob Arum. When you take a hard line, I'm choosing sides. You right now, you already biased, and any information that you're going to look for, you want to look for stuff that confirm what you already want to believe in, which is the confirmation bias.
Well, I would ask the Furlong guy, okay, I'm not going to vouch for Oscar because I don't know the fucking man. But if he lied about something, just tell me what it was and how it pertains to this, because I don't recall Oscar telling a lie when it comes to this. I remember when Oscar told the world that Al Heyman blocked the Rigo fight, they accused him of being a liar. They said he's bullshitting. He just doesn't want to do the fight, right? That's what they said when Oscar said Al Heyman blocked the fight. Not but a few weeks later, Leo Santa Cruz himself confirmed, yes, it was Al Heyman that blocked the fight. He didn't like the fight. He said nobody wanted to see it, and that's why the fight didn't materialize. So I don't jump to the conclusion that Oscar is automatically lying, even if I don't believe everything he says, because I don't. But I'm not going to jump to a conclusion that, oh, well, he's a liar, so I'm not going to believe anything he says. I'm going to look at both sides, just like Coach said. What's likelier than not? And you're not going to convince me that people was clamoring to see Gervonta Davis versus Isaac Cruz or Rolly Romero, because when you pay attention, those ain't the fights that people are asking for. They're not asking for none of that shit. They've been asking you to fight Lomachenko. They've been asking you to fight Lopez. They're now asking you to fight Haney because he's your division's undisputed champion. You're not. The fighters you fight don't even fucking have fans. Who the fuck is a Rolly Romero fan? Outside of the dumb shit that he says at press conferences, who has a high opinion of his boxing that I need to see this Romero fight? We all know he got a gift against Marinez. We fucking seen it. Fucking same Marinez that Richard Comey stomped out in 6 rounds. Same Marinez.
Hey, Jules, the streaming, it brings me to something else. When Tim Scott was talking about, hey, you know what? No one is going to buy the Crawford Spence fight. The economics is not there. Yada 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 yada. And it's so funny to me. He said that people are going to steal it. And I've been dying to talk to you about this. Now I don't broke down part of what the demographics are already of Crawford and Spence fans. So I have broke that down on here. But I noticed he never said that about Canelo. When the PBC had this ungodly amount of money, $50 million, $100 million for 3 fights for Canelo, Tim Smith never said, the economics is the reason why that we won't be able to make the Canelo and Caleb Plant fight. Those guys are not going to buy the fight. The people who say they want to see Canelo become undisputed, they're not going to buy the fight. They're just going to illegally stream it. I noticed the language. They didn't say that when it was Canelo fighting an unknown Caleb Plant, a $750,000 fighter on paper, and whatever he got on the back end, I don't know. They didn't say that with him. But when it comes to this fight with Crawford and Spence, it seems that it's always some shit when it's a big fight that's to be made from a fighter that's a non-traditional PBC fighter. Remember Canelo had to walk away from the deal the first time with PBC, and then they ended up getting back together, and then they made the deal for him to fight Caleb Plant. But it just seems to always be something. Now the economics not there. They're gonna stream it. People got to be realistic. And I'm like, dude, you got so many people online who put this out there as though you guys are, this Wakanda shit. I call it the Wakanda shit. You got all this money. You got all this money, and we're gonna sign. It's gonna be butterflies and lilies, and rainbows and all this shit. And I'm like, dude, something as simple as making a fight between two guys who fight they've been bubbling for years. This all kind of, streaming and, this and that. And I'm like, well, Canelo, well, none of that shit. Can you tell me why? Can you tell me why do you get what I'm going at?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with Canelo, it's simple. They don't hesitate to put up a big amount of money for a Canelo fight because they know he's good for it. They know if you put up 40 for Canelo, he can bring it back. He can bring it back at the box office. He can bring it back at the gate. But if you've been paying attention to Spence's numbers, they're on a downward trend. Ever since he debuted on pay-per-view with Mikey Garcia, he hasn't done those numbers since. Even the Ugas fight was just above 200,000 pay-per-view buys. So you have to think, Terrence Crawford just fought Sean Porter for $6 million up front. He's likely going to want more than that for a Spence fight. It's an undisputed fight. It's supposed to be the biggest fight in the division. And because he wants more money than what he got for Porter, but because that pay-per-view flopped, that's where the problems are. And the same applies to Spence. Whatever Spence wants for a Crawford fight has to be more than what he just got for Ugas, than what he just got for Sean. He's going to want more money too. Yeah. So the real issue is that the money that they probably both want, it's not there. And this illusion that Errol is this huge draw, well, you ain't a big enough draw to guarantee Crawford something substantial. See, Canelo can guarantee a fighter that ain't worth $10 million $10 million because he's a fucking cash cow. Errol is not a cash cow. If you can't guarantee Crawford $10 million, how Canelo guaranteed Plant $10 million, you ain't no fucking cash cow. And that's really where the dilemma is, that all the lies that they've told in the last 4 years, they're starting to catch up, and people are getting tired of it because you know what? People want to see Devin Haney versus Gervonta Davis. They want to see Crawford versus Spence, but you've been spoon-feeding them bullshit, and you can't keep up with your own lies now. If Errol is that much of a fucking draw, then you should be able to get Crawford in the ring the same way Canelo got Billy and Caleb and Callum in the fucking ring. He's good for the money. You're not, and that's the problem. Errol's not good for that money, so sacrifices have to be made. And I'm not biased. Crawford has to make some sacrifices.
Yeah, absolutely.
Errol, he has to make some sacrifices. Now, I don't know what the number is. Truthfully, none of us do. I don't know what number Terrence wants, but common sense tells me if he got 6 for Sean, he's probably going to want 10 for Errol, or just more than 6, because this is a bigger fight. Errol, well, his guaranteed purses, and that's another indicator that you're not a fucking cash cow. Showtime guarantees Canelo more money than they guarantee you, but you fight on their network more than he does. They guaranteed him 40. They were willing to guarantee him $100 million for 2 fights. When I look at what's reported to the commission in reference to Errol, $2 million for Sean, 1.5 for Ugas. These are not cash cow purses. I think Derek Chisora gets guaranteed more money than that for a fucking pay-per-view. Dillian White gets guaranteed more money than that for a fucking pay-per-view. Do they call them cash cows? No. They're draws. They're draws. They can draw. Just like you can draw. I would never say Errol has no marquee value. That's just not true. But you're not as big a draw as what they say you are. And the only reason they've been saying that shit is so that you would have leverage over Terrence. But now that you have to actually deal with Terrence, cat's out the bag. You ain't all that.
Yeah, cat's out the bag. And then, when you're negotiating, and you're saying that, hey, well, I'm saying, hey, Jules, I sell more pay-per-views than you per fight. I did 1 million and this and that. So now me and you in negotiations to fight each other. I'm pretty sure you and your team are going to be like, okay, let's see. You're saying you're doing 1 million some pay-per-view buys? Yes. Can we see that? Can you show us proof of that? Because I need to see proof. If you're telling me that this guy's doing astronomical numbers and stuff like that, okay, now the rubber has hit the road. Now we're negotiating. I need to see the proof because you're using those talking points as leverage to justify offering me this. Okay, well, you got to show me proof that this leverage that you say that you're using against me, show me that that's what it is. Oh, no, we ain't got to show you. Just take our word for it. No, it doesn't work that way, man.
Listen, when Dana White was trying to get into boxing, you know, they said that he was in the market. He wanted to pair up with an outfit. And the story is that he looked at the PBC's books, and you'll notice that he didn't decide to buy. He didn't buy in. So he's privy, you know, Dana White, UFC guy, for those that don't know. He's likely privy to the information that I'm talking about. That it's not that they don't have fighters that can draw a little bit. They can draw a little bit. Like, it would be a lie to say Gervonta Davis can't draw. Or Errol can't. He can draw.
Both of them are draws, yeah.
But they're local draws, nominal draws. We're not talking about being able to guarantee the man opposite the ring $10 million. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about being able to guarantee the man opposite the ring $40 million. It's the reason that Bob Arum said that unless somebody subsidizes this fight, it may not happen. And you'll notice that a fight that was subsidized in recent memory is Joshua versus Usyk. The Saudis put up $83 million for the rights. Now, those are their rights. They can auction them off who they want to. But as far as Matchroom, they made their money. As far as the fighters, they made their money. It's there. It's all there. Whereas with this fight, you'll notice, hey, why don't Saudis bid on this fucking fight? Why don't they buy it? Because if they buy it, well, here's your purse, Crawford. Here's your purse, Errol. You do the fight. You know, you do what you got to do as fighters. We'll worry about which network carries the fight. You'll notice it doesn't happen with their fighters. Saudi Arabian millionaires and billionaires are not bidding on this fight because I'm sorry to say it's not as big a fight as people make it out to be. It never was. The time to do this fight was in 2018 when the synergy around it was at a fever pitch. But you waited good up until Errol flips a Ferrari and his eye almost falls out. And Terrence's marquee value has been hurt because for the last 3 years, he hasn't fought the people that people wanted him to fight. It's not his fault because those people froze him out. Everything Showtime and the PBC did is how we got here.
So can you tell me the difference between Terrence Crawford when he was with Top Rank? Let me two-part question. When he was with Top Rank, do you feel like, and you just said it, that was the time to make that fight? Because I remember when Steve Kim was on, Steve called the show and he said that, hey man, the time to make that fight was then, because what happened with the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight, both promotional companies, they split the cost. And so now the PBC is on the hook to try to play both fighters. Wouldn't it have been better to make that fight with Crawford when he was on Top Rank? If money is your concern, if finances and economics is your concern, then why not make the fight when it's economically feasible for your company? When he was with Top Rank, why they didn't do that then?
Well, the reason that they didn't, there could be two reasons that they decided not to do that. One, which I tend to lean towards, it was never their plan to do that fight. It was never their plan to do it. And the second reason, maybe it was their plan, but they wanted to wait till Top Rank was out of the picture so that all the proceeds would go to them, so they don't have to split the pot with a Top Rank. And the problem with that kind of a plan is you have to bear all the risks by yourself then. You have to pay for everything by yourself. The guarantees to the fighters, the operational costs, it'll all be on you. The ideal time to have done the fight was when Terrence was with Top Rank, because Top Rank could have guaranteed him whatever the fuck he wants. You wouldn't have had to worry about Terrence. They give him what he wants. You give Errol what he wants. But they didn't want to have to split the pot. So in essence, it's greed. You didn't want to split the pot with Bob, with Top Rank, with ESPN. So you didn't do the fight when you should have done the fight, because Top Rank could have helped you. Notice the difference between Wilder versus Fury 1, which was promoted by Showtime, and Wilder versus Fury 2, which was promoted by both Top Rank and the PBC. More than 2 times the pay-per-view buys. 325,000 the first time, 850,000 the second time. Now, granted, It was a box office flop, but that's because you overestimated the guarantees. That's all that was. The difference that I'm showing is look at how many more pay-per-views they sold when they worked together.
Together, yeah, when they worked together, and it wasn't any of the mumbo jumbo that we heard with Wrong Side of the Street, Top Rain Toby, Rome Network, Bob blocking the fight, this, that. And I tell people, I'm not here to change anyone's mind. Believe whatever you want to believe. If you live in Wakanda land and you want to accept Wakanda narratives, fine. That's what you want to do. Me, I just want to see the fights. Jules, this is a phenomenal boxing mind that I'm talking to. This guy is smart as hell overall, but he's definitely smart when it comes to boxing. And he know a lot of shit, a lot of more things in the sport of boxing and all of the different weight divisions than I do. He know a whole lot more, to be fair. So, and he's very, very articulate, and he breaks it down like a 57 Chevy. That's how you break shit down. But Crawford and Tyson Fury were on the same side of the street. So, and I think you already answered this question already. Why it wasn't wrong side of the street, wrong promoter, you with the wrong networks when it came to Deontay Wilder, which is a PBC fighter, fighting Tyson Fury. But when it comes to Crawford and Spence, when he was over there, it was the wrong side of the street, wrong network. You need to sign with the PBC. Why the language change from two fighters who was with the same promoter, same promotional company, but it was different. You know what I mean? The narrative that was being pushed was different.
That's why I had two answers to that question, and that's why a part of me feels it was never their intention to make Crawford versus Spence. That's the only way I can wrap my mind around it. That why were you okay to put Fury in the ring with Wilder? Well, Wilder did knock him down 2 times. Maybe you liked Wilder's chances in that fight, even in a rematch situation, because Wilder did land the right hand 2 times. Whereas with Terrence Crawford, maybe you never liked Errol's chances with Terrence Crawford. Maybe to you, it's just not worth the risk that you can make Errol money and Errol can make you money independently of a Terrence Crawford fight. That's why a part of me feels that, look, the only reason you're doing this fucking fight now is because you have to compete with fights like Canelo versus Golovkin. You have to compete with fights like fucking Joshua versus Usyk, an $83 million fight. And you can't compete with those fights with a Brandon Figueroa versus Adrian Broner, with a Danny Garcia versus Jose Benavidez. This is the best fight you can put on right now, and maybe that's the only reason you've decided to come around and do it, because before that, you didn't want to do it. The opportunity was there. You were cool working with Top Rank when it came to Fury because you liked Wilder's chances. But you're not cool with working with Top Rank when it comes to Crawford because you don't like Errol's chances. You never liked his chances. That's the only way I can explain it, because I'm like, they were okay working with Fury. They didn't care about none of that shit. But maybe it's because Fury got dropped 2 times. Whereas with Crawford, this is one of the, like, motherfuckers, they call me a fanboy. I give a fuck. Right? Crawford is the best welterweight. Crawford is one of the top 3 pound-for-pound fighters in the world. In the world. It's different. You were fighting a cocaine head who was losing weight that was on the rebound. That's more favorable to your fighter than fighting a pound-for-pound elite fighter that doesn't balloon in weight between fights, that is always seen in the gym helping out his contemporaries between fights. This is not an unstable guy. He has a consistent track record of success, except at the box office. And that's why you didn't want him. These risks aren't worth this. So we're going to keep Errol away from him. And, it's just not our intention to make this fight. Errol himself said it when Terrence confronted him. Al Heyman gave him 4 names. None of those names were the name of Terrence Crawford. He said it, not me, not Coach Malachi, not another content creator. Errol said that. He gave him 4 names. Manny Pacquiao, Sean Porter, Mikey Garcia, and I think Keith Thurman was the 4th name he said. Right?
Yeah, that was in 2018 when they met face to face.
Exactly. Right. And that was out of the horse's mouth. So that always communicated to me. What I always took from that is they don't want to do this fight at all. Like, they don't want to do this fight. And if they're coming around to it now, it's because they've painted themselves into a corner. Wilder looks like he's at the end of his career. Who knows if he's going to come back? I don't know. I'm not saying that he's not, but he was one of their biggest draws. 325,000, 850,000, and 600,000 the last time. He has put up the biggest numbers for the PBC, even in box office flops. Better still, he still put up the most numbers. Not Errol, not Javante, not Keith, not Andy Ruiz, not Luis Ortiz. And we don't know if he's going to come back. So we don't know if you could do a big fight for Wilder. We don't know. This is the biggest fight you can put on at this time. This is it. And if it's fucked up right now, well, it's your fucking fault. You should have did it when he was with Top Rank, because they could have paid him. You pay Errol, they pay Crawford, they promote the fight to ESPN, you promote the fight on Showtime and Fox, because that's a PBC affiliated network. I'm sure they could work something out. You promote this from as many angles as you can, keep the operational cost low, guarantee Terrence 10 million. Guarantee Errol, because he has 3 belts, 15 million. That's still under 40 million. It's still under 35 million. It's still under 30 million. It's doable, but you waited too long, and now the fight ain't worth what it was worth in 2018.
Yeah, I think they made a bad gambit. They made a bad gambit. Now, what you just said is not going to bode well for those brothers and sisters out of Texas, because they very emotional when they come to their fighter. And I get it, I understand. It's not going to bode well for them. They're going to paint you a hater. Coach Malachi here, hater, he this, he that. And it's like, no, we're just having a general conversation about just a lot of the stuff that as it relates to these pay-per-view numbers. I've always felt that these once Showtime stopped giving out the numbers and we started hearing numbers from and credit to Rick Glaser. I will say this: Rick will tell you, this is who I'm dealing with. He don't say the name, but this is who I get the numbers from. This guy works in the satellite and cable industry and yada yada yada, blah, this squad, an attorney. He'll tell you that. These other guys, they can't reveal their sources. I understand that. But my source told me this, my source told me that. I get it, I understand you can't reveal your sources. But I just noticed how selectively they repeat the stuff that their sources tell them. I guess maybe it's because this is what we want you to say out there, to put that out there. And you just broke it down. They use it as a leverage, as negotiation tactics, and want to have the leverage when it comes to negotiating fights. And especially when you don't never have to show that what you're saying. Listen, if this guy is who you say he is, and he's doing the numbers that you're telling me he's doing him, sir, why am I having a problem with you releasing the numbers? Not only that, why is the fighter who is trying to make a fight with one of your fighters, why he can't even see okay, well, you telling me, you're using A-side tactics on me, right? Okay, you're the A-side, whatever. You're saying that he's doing these numbers, and you're saying because he's doing these numbers, and in comparison to the numbers that I'm not doing, this is what you're using to justify paying me a small amount of money, and while your fighter getting paid the bulk amount of money. Okay, so can you please show me the evidence of that, what you're saying your fighter is doing, so that I can see it for myself? No. You don't need to see it. Just take our word for it. That sounds good in Wakanda land. In Wakanda land, that sound good. That sound good in the hood. It sound good with Pookie, Ray Ray, Laquita, Shaniqua. It sound good with Man. It sound good with dudes at the local corner store in the hood. It sound good there. But when the rubber hits the road, you can't show those numbers to justify, to back up what you're claiming. It's all bullshit to me. It's all smoke and mirrors. And I am of the belief that this is the reason why people like Showtime, Stephen Espinosa, and all of the other guys, they don't want to reveal their numbers, because the numbers are not doing what they are leaking out. These sources say reports. I believe that they are not doing what they're doing. How do I know? Do I have any actual facts on that? No. But what we do know is this: they're not releasing them.
Let's say this, Coach. The problem with Crawford versus Spence is a unique problem, because I believe that's a fight that could do well commercially so long as operational costs are low. What's the problem? Both guys want a lot of goddamn money, and likely their guaranteed purses, what they expect to get up front guaranteed, doesn't match the sales projections. So you have to kind of plan for the worst, but hope for the best. That's what you got to do. The guarantee shouldn't be nothing crazy. And that's going to sound crazy to Terrence, because he just got $6 million up front for Sean. And he not going to go for that, or he might not want to. You know what I mean? But that's the situation. So let's put the pay-per-view amount that this fight could do at a moderate estimate between $350,000 or $450,000. The guaranteed purses should be based on that and that alone. Not Sean Porter, not Errol Spence, not Mikey Garcia, and what he did with Mikey. That's what it should be based on. This is what we think this fight is going to do at the box office. So your guarantees have to be based on that and nothing else. All right? Don't come in here expecting 20 up front. We ain't got it for you. That applies to both Errol and Terrence. If you want to do the fight, That's how the fucking fight gets done. The beauty of that is, say it does more than 450,000, or say it does 500,000. The break-even point is easier to hit. You get more money on the back end because there's an actual upside. It works out for everybody. But the misconception has everything to do with the lies they told. You told the world that Terrence ain't shit. Turns out Errol ain't much better either, because he can't guarantee Terrence a whole lot of money. If Terrence could get $6 million up front from Top Rank and ESPN for a Porter fight, why the fuck I can't get more with you? They said you the shit.
They say you the shit. Yeah. Yeah. You
said
got
you
all the
shit.
money. You got all the money. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, too. Sorry about that.
Yeah. They say you the shit. They said that I ain't shit. You know, I'm undisputed champion. You trying to become undisputed. I did that already. Never mind that. I did that. I'm a 3-division champion. You a 1-division champion. But y'all told me that I ain't shit. That's what y'all said. That my biggest fight is Errol. Well, how come Errol can't get me the kind of money up front I want? What if they're offering Terrence less than $6 million or $6 million? I don't know what dollar amount they're offering this man. I don't think any of us do, except Terrence and his team and Errol and his team. But wouldn't that be fucking ridiculous that fighting Errol gets me the same fucking money up front that fighting Sean got me? Well, for that shit, I should have stayed at ESPN.
And this guy, and this guy's supposed to be a cash cow from what they're saying. So, you know, if you're a cash cow, then you should be able to pay Caleb Plants like Canelo does. Well, shit, Canelo, like, listen, let me ask you a question. This is another argument, and I'm not going to hold you up. This is my last one. This is another argument. What was Caleb Plant's track record at pay-per-view before he fought Canelo?
Absolute zero.
So Caleb Plant had 0 pay-per-views prior to fighting Canelo. His first pay-per-view fight, he got a guarantee, what? He got $10 million or something like that?
That's the report.
So the report is Caleb Plant, with no pay-per-view track record, received $10 million fighting Canelo. Well, Canelo paid him that. Canelo brought the money. He brought the bag. He is the bag, right? So a guy who never fought pay-per-view before fights Canelo, gets $10 million. A guy who they've already always reported his pay-per-view numbers, Terrence Crawford numbers, have been low, but he has a track record of having some pay-per-views. At least he has a track record. He's fighting another guy that's supposed to be the cash cow, according to the narrative, the face of boxing, the cash cow over there, and you can't guarantee him anywhere near to what Caleb Plant was guaranteed fighting Canelo. If you're supposed to be on the same level as Canelo, and there's a cash cow as Canelo, and the face of boxing is Canelo, that doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, it's wrong. Look, at the end of the day, a lot of people, it's just like you said, they treat every subject like it's a polarizing subject. When use put your thinking cap on, think objectively. If you're Terrence Crawford and I got 6 for Sean, how am I supposed to get less than that or the same amount for you? You're supposed to be bigger than him. This supposed to be a bigger opportunity for me than that opportunity. Now, I'm in my mid-30s. I'm not getting any fucking younger. I'm gonna take these peanuts. This is why I sympathize, and you don't see me doing a whole lot of videos on this castigating anyone except for the PBC and Showtime. Why? You killed this fight when you didn't want to show Terrence in your graphics on Fox, when Errol sat up there on the podium belittling him and berating him, saying that he hadn't fought anyone. That's not build up for a fight. That's not how you build a fight. In the last 4 years, I don't think they were building up this fight, and it's only right that now it's on y'all to sell this motherfucker, because y'all the ones that killed it. Y'all killed this fight. Not Bob, not Top Rank. Bob didn't sit there talking shit about Errol. He just said, I want to do the fucking fight. That's it. I mean, granted, he said Terrence would beat him, but he's supposed to say that.
Yeah. Hey, Jules, thank you so much for coming by, man. Anything else you want to say? Wrap up, plug your show, or anything?
Subscribe to Coach Malachi. It's the best goddamn show on YouTube, goddamn it. New media, goddamn it.
I'm not the best, but I'm doing my thing. We got the daytime show. Y'all please subscribe to my brother, Ring IQ. I respect this brother's boxing mind. He's a really, really good guy. I got a lot of love for this brother, man. And I watch him every day. So even when I miss his lives, I watch the replays. I watch him every day. Y'all go please subscribe, man. And I'm going to rock out with the chat, man. Let's give our brother a round of applause. Jules, thank you for stopping by.
No problem.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Jules. The point that I'm making is this here. Don't believe in a lot of these guys, they lie. In boxing, these promoters, network executives, these guys are like politicians. you can't get direct answers out of them, and they talk in circles. You ask them a direct question, they go to nigga-splaining on a corporate level. So this is how it is up top. They don't tell you the truth. They won't tell you the truth. You see what I'm saying? And this is just what it is. As I said before, if you are a cash cow or something like that, then cash cows, like cash cows are able to pay $750,000 fighters like a Caleb Plant $10 million or $5 million or $7 or $8 or $9 million if you are a cash cow in the face of boxing. There's a lot of hyperbole that's being pushed online and on social media about certain fighters that are not true. There's hyperbole. Again, you have Chitlin circuit stars, and then you have real stars, right? You have Chitlin circuit cash cows. When you fight me, you're going to make a guarantee. You're going to make a career high $500,000 and $600,000 or even $1 million or $1.5 million. But when you fight this guy, you're going to make a career high 10 million, 11 million, 12 million. There's no comparison. And it has nothing to do with my feelings, your feelings, or whatever the case may be. That's just the reality of the situation. These guys lie all the time up top. This is what it is. Again, I'm not here to sway anybody's opinion. Believe what you want to believe. I don't care. Doesn't make me no never mind, but I call it the way I see it. Without calling out anybody's name. I'm not calling no names out or anything like that. Shout out to Antonio for dropping that half for bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Antonio said, love your content. I know Tank personally. These are facts. These are the facts that I know. Tank makes nearly $5 million per fight. Cruz fight was not successful, but it will be his next fight if no Garcia. Yeah. We do know that he's going to fight Isaac Cruz next. That we do know that is in the play. Pretty much Calvin Ford let that cat out the bag, and then they might do a rematch of Rolly Romero after that as well.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
I'm gonna get to all the super chats right now. Shout out to Old Daddy Boxing. For dropping that $2. Bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Old Daddy Boxing, he say what you say? You say pump up the likes, on ring. Shout out to Ring IQ, man. Yeah, man, I didn't want to interrupt him, so that's why I didn't do the super chats while we was on the show.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Man, shout out to Drew. For dropping this half for bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Drew, what you say, fam? You say Ellerbe on Twitter and his feelings after the Oscar interview. The problem is guys like Crawford and Oscar saw the books like Dana White, and it's all smoke and mirrors. And this is the thing. This is what I'm saying. Shout out to Drew, man.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
See, you can tell the Chitlin circuit, meaning the YouTube, and you can tell these the certain channels in the YTBC. You can tell the Chitlin circuit what you want to tell them, because a lot of those guys, and I'm just being honest with you. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I just got to call it the way I see it. A lot of these guys, they speak circular language, right? And they keep regurgitating the same talking points over and over and over and over and over. And these guys don't have critical thinking skills, and they don't ask pertinent questions. If someone says, hey, my fighter is doing this, okay, do you have any proof to show that he's doing that? Well, I don't have to show you anything. Well, if you don't have to show me anything, why are you coming out telling me what he's doing? And you're using what you're telling me, you're saying that, hey, he's doing this, and you're using this as leverage to try to justify shortchanging another fighter. Now, I don't get into what this fighter make or what that fighter make. I don't give a damn. I don't receive any of it. But if you're going to put it out there in the public, and you're going to speak it, believe it, receive it, and put it out there in the public, the people in the public, the boxing fans, have a right to question it. That's all. That's all we say. We have a right to question it. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. All of them lying. For them goddamn concerned. I'm not on nobody's side. Everybody goddamn lying. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to push no narratives over here. Everybody, all of them lying. If you believe Oscar lying, you got to believe Leonard is lying. If you believe Leonard is lying, you got to believe Stephen Espinosa is lying. If you believe Stephen Espinosa is lying, you got to believe Bob Arum is lying. If you believe Bob Arum is lying, you got to believe Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren is lying. All of them be lying. You see what I'm saying? Now, unless they show the proof, if they say, hey, this is what we did, Here it goes right here. If they show it to you, then they showed it. They showed you the evidence. But if you're telling me something out of your mouth and you're not showing it to me, and you think I'm gonna believe that shit because you got some YouTube channels on the payroll and they subscribers believe that shit because they suffer from confirmation bias, you got another thing coming. That shit ain't flying over here. Not over here. True. So I don't know if I'm gonna let you guys see the video. Shout out to Drew.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
What you say, Drew? Hold on, let me get to the rest of these super chats. Drew said all the pay-per-view numbers are fabricated, and Dana White changing his mind about buying the PBC. Let me know that what he saw in their books on Jews and Coach. Yeah. Because you can see you can make your mouth fried chicken, but when you got the and remember what I tell you guys over here. I say a lot of these fighters, if you're with a promotional company or you're with a advisory company, and this guy, not gonna say any names, naming the company, this guy is keeping track of all of your money, and they're paying you an allowance on your money, and they're keeping your money in account. The only way you're gonna know what you really have, you have to audit the books. You got to audit the financial records. You got to audit the books. If you're trusting someone to just handle your money for you, right? If you're trusting someone to do that, you have to audit the books to make sure they're on the up and up. You have to do that. Because a lot of these people, man, you're going to be surprised when their career over with, you're going to find out they ain't got what they think they got. And that's not my problem. That's not my problem. But I'm just saying, a lot of that shit be smoke and mirrors, dog. That's all.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Shout out to my man. Shout out to Lou, man. Pretty Lou, man. Light-skinned Lou. I say pretty Lou because I'm thinking about on the force, full force. But yeah, shout out to Lou, man. Shout out to Lou. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Mills Lane.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
What to say, fam? He say, man, I'm starting to believe Bob and them pay-per-view numbers.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Drew, what you say, fam?
Hey, okay.
For dropping that $2, bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Drew, what you say? You say Usyk getting 40 mil for AJ rematch. You see what I'm saying? That's cash cow shit. When you got people willing to put up a whole lot of money for your fights, that tell you everything you need to know. When you got niggas on the chitlin circuit arguing about a hog mog over here, a pig feet over there. Wait a minute, arguing about that pork grind. Oh shit, wait a minute. Well, how much you wanted this hog head cheese sandwich? You want too much of the hog now. Wait a minute, now you asking for too much money. Wait a minute, y'all told me y'all was the place to be. Y'all told me y'all had all this money and you balling and everybody litty and we living in mansions and driving cars with suicide doors and Lambos and all that shit there. And now when nigga done pulled up, now you shaking like booty meat. Oh man, shit. Ooh, hey, let's put some information out there about them. Tell our operators on YouTube. Let our operators know on YouTube. Tell them this is what we need them to say. Yeah, man. Tell them he being unrealistic. Tell him. Oh yeah, he asked for too much money. Yeah. Tell them this. Tell them that. They subscribers. They got low IQ subscribers anyway. They fall for anything. Them niggas low IQ, broke in the hood anyway. PlayStation playing that niggas. Yeah, they're telling that. Just tell them that. So this is what I see that's going on. And remember, I don't pledge allegiance to you niggas, man. Remember that. I don't pledge allegiance to you niggas. You see what I'm saying? I'm not on the payroll for nobody. I work for me. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna push no narratives over here. I don't pledge allegiance to nobody. I pledge allegiance to me. I pledge allegiance to the sport of boxing. And I'm gonna call it the way I see it. Respectfully, without calling out any names. That's all I'm gonna say. True. Know me, boy. We don't do no dick riding. We do not do no dick riding. Not over here.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
And let's get into the show. Let me address everybody in the chat. Let me show you guys this video. Shout out to Miguel Martinez.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that $2. Bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Miguel, he say I fuck with your channel. You giving facts, not racial bias. Hey man, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. I call it the way I see it. You know, I got, you know, I'm hated by many races. I got blacks who say I'm a coon, Uncle Tom sellout, Uncle Ruckus. I have Hispanics saying that I'm racist against Hispanics. I have whites who say I'm racist against whites. I have some Asians who say I'm racist against Asians. I have successfully pissed off 4 different races of people. Everybody can't be right. Everybody can't be right. God damn, it is what it is, man.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Shout out to Antonio.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that. Bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Antonio, salute to you, fam. You said one last super chat. Enjoyed the show. Yeah, I appreciate that, fam. I appreciate that. We ain't going nowhere, but if you got to go, man, I appreciate that, fam. Thank you so much for the support.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
And I'm gonna right now. We're just gonna address everybody in the chat. Let me get the super chats out of the way, and I'm gonna talk to everybody in the chat. I promise you. Shout out to Serge.
Hey, okay.
Dropping that $2. Bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He say Tank and PBC fighters getting pay-per-view circus money. To be fair, I do think Tank is being paid well. I think he's being paid well. I have no proof of it. That's what they say. I have no proof. That's what they say. You see what I'm saying? I think he's being paid well. But this bullshit that face of boxing, cash cow, that's bullshit. Yeah, that's bullshit. But that's what a promoter's supposed to say. But but the hyperbole in that's some bullshit, bro. Because right now, you know, when you scratching your head, I ain't paying that dude no $2-3 million to fight my fighter. That tell me everything I need to know.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. I don't piss some people off with this interview with Jules. Guess what? I don't give a fuck. I'm not down with you guys. Remember that. I'm not down with none of you. Not down with you. Okay? It is what it is. When I say none of you, I'm not talking about nobody in the chat. Anybody in the chat, I'm not talking about the family that's in the chat. I'm talking about the ones, they know who I'm talking about. They know who I'm talking about. They know who I'm talking about. Let's see. King KO, what did he say? He say Bob Bam didn't release those Fury white numbers. They only did 40,000 on ESPN. No wonder. Yeah. You know what? I don't know if he released them, but I don't think he released them. I don't think he released them. Now, you know what, King KO? I don't know what the pay-per-views did overseas. I don't know what they did overseas in the UK. I don't know what the pay-per-views did over there. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. But over here in the United States, I didn't hear nothing about Dillian White and Tyson Fury pay-per-views over here in the States. I'm just being honest with you, fam. I didn't hear shit about it. You see what I'm saying? I didn't hear nothing about it. Hey, what to say? Boom. He say, Coach ain't down with me. No. Me and you, Gucci. I'm not talking about nobody in the chat. You know, I'm talking about, I'm talking about, they know who I'm talking about. I just put it that way. They know who I'm talking about. He said, you think Smelly be watching you today? So, yeah, of course he is. Absolutely. They all watch me. Believe it or not. I've been new that. I get the phone calls, stuff like that. This ain't no shade. I ain't throwing no names out there. I didn't say nobody's name. So let's go up here to Oscar. I didn't say anyone's name. I'm just saying all of them are full of shit. That's what I'm saying. All of them are full of shit. None of them are honest. Remember that. I don't pledge allegiance. I don't pledge allegiance to these dudes. I don't listen. You know why I don't pledge allegiance to you guys? Let me tell you why. I love the sport of boxing. If you're not gonna give me the fights I want, then guess what? I can't pledge allegiance to that. You get what I'm saying? I know bullshit when I hear it. I know bullshit when I hear it. I know niggas explaining when I hear it. I know circular language when I hear it. I know when you go to talking in circles and not, when you're asked straight questions and you can't give a straight answer. I understand that. And I understand that you don't give a fuck about me or none of the boxing fans. I know that. I know you guys don't give a fuck about us. You see what I'm saying? So I got to call it the way I see it. I can't be bought. I'm not on the payroll. I'm not down with any clicks or crews on YouTube who you have under your control. I am solo dolo by myself. And guess what? It is what it is. I'm perfectly fine with that. But I got to call it the way I see it. You see what I'm saying? It is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. I don't give a fuck if you work for ESPN. I don't give a fuck if you work for Top Rank. I don't care if you work for Matchroom, Queensberry, PBC, Showtime. It don't make me know. Never mind. Guess what? Y'all don't take care of me. Y'all don't do nothing for Coach Malachi Williams. Remember that. Y'all don't do nothing for me. And guess what? And I'm cool with that. I'm an old man. I'm holding my own nuts over here. When you hold your own nuts, you don't worry about how the next man feel. Because I'm holding my own nuts. I'm a boss over here where I'm at. And so it don't matter to me how anyone feels. I just want to let you know that, man. They want to let you know that. I'm holding the line, dog. Holding the line. That's what I'm going to do. Hold the line. Shout out to Ricky Ricardo, though.
Hey, okay.
For dropping that quarter of a bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Ricky Ricardo, what you say, fam? Ricky Ricardo he say overall, if a fight is being based on pay-per-views and drawing power, each team can request the network's Fox Showtime ratings analytics, period. Until then, yeah, and who knows? Maybe that has happened. Who knows? But if you someone like a Crawford or just anybody, and you're fighting a guy who's supposed to be the cash cow, he's supposed to be doing the big numbers according to what Wakanda is saying. Okay, let's see them books, baby boy. Let's see them books. Oh, no, you don't need to see them books. Now, you don't need to be knowing. Just take our word for it. I don't need you all up in my business talking about some, yeah, dog. Yeah, see, you don't need to, you asking the wrong questions. Don't be asking us, goddammit, about, just take our word for it. This the numbers we said he did. Okay, well, if he did those numbers, let me see. So I know if we negotiating and, negotiating fairly. You know what I mean? We negotiating in good faith. At least let me see the number. You don't need to see no number, dog. Just take our word for it. We're going to give you two. Listen, then what we're going to give you, dog. We're going to give you 2 frozen cups. Did you see that car that we bought, Roland Romero? Yeah, we're going to give you a Mitsubishi. We're going to get 2 frozen cups, a Mitsubishi, a whole can cheese sandwich, pick a pig feet. We're going to give you, we're going to give you a couple of fruit Rolos. We're going to give you some Lucky Charms, and we're going to pat you on the back and call it a goddamn day. Nah, we ain't doing that, homie. We ain't doing that. And we ain't doing that, fam. It don't work like that. If these niggas is what you say they is, it shouldn't be no problem. And you know how I know they're not what you say you is? Because every time it's a big fight that's to be made with you niggas go to shaking like booty meat, and you send your operatives out there to put out all this fake ass information, this fake news that y'all like to put out there. And I see what it is. I ain't gonna say the names, but I see what it is, dog. You ain't fooling me. I know what time it is. I don't give a damn what nobody else believe. I know what I believe, and that's all that matters to me.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Let's talk to the people, man. We got the lights up. Let's talk to the people, man. Damn, we got over 400 in here and less than 300 likes. This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Boy, I must got a whole lot of my detractors. See, this how I know my detractors are watching me. Because they won't even hit the like button. They'll watch me to try to see what I'm saying, but they won't hit the like button. They like, man, fuck that nigga. We ain't hit that goddamn like button. Guess what? I want to open up the phone lines. If you want to call the old boy, if you want to vent, if you want to call me Uncle Ruckus, Uncle Tom, say whatever you want to say. If you want to call me, let's get the lights up, and you can call in and say what you want to say. I listen. I got my pen and my pad right here, but let's talk to the people in the chat. As a matter of fact, before we do that, let's go over here to Oscar Dela Hoya. Let's go here, Oscar Dela Hoya over here. Let's go here, Oscar Dela Hoya. Oscar, Oscar, yeah, it is what it is. I don't even play over here, bullshit. No. Yeah, shit. I toe tag and body bag over here. I don't even fuck off over here, bullshit. You know what I mean? Hottest boxing podcast, daytime, the hottest daytime, because I got to specify, because, the hottest daytime boxing podcast on YouTube in the YTBC. Hands down. And we do it dolo. We do it by ourselves. We do it dolo. And we're a small channel. Pulling in good numbers are so small. We so small. Oh, you know what? Hold on, guys. Let me try to. All right. I'm trying. Okay, it's connected. All right, hold on, guys. See, you got David and Goliath. These other guys, they Goliath. They the big dogs. But guess what? You got little old David over here. David over here making some noise over here, boy. David is making some noise. They like, God damn, this motherfucking David. David ain't cooperating. This nigga ain't cooperating, man. Shit. Tired of David. Yeah, man. Yeah, it is what it is, man. I want the truth. I want the truth. That's all. I just want the truth, dog. You ain't gonna give us what we want. Fuck y'all. That's where I'm at. If you ain't gonna give us, if we ain't gonna give us what we want, fuck y'all. You ain't gonna give the fans what we want, the hell with you. I ain't on your side. Care nothing about your cars, your Bentleys. I don't give a fuck about that shit, nigga. Shit. Fuck your car, nigga. Get in the ring and fight some goddamn body. Anyway, let's do this. Let's go. This Oscar Dela Hoya. This the interview he did with Fight Hype. Shout out to them boys. Hey, shout out to them boys at Fight Hype, man. Shout out to Floyd Mayweather. Shout out to Al Heyman in the PBC. Shout out to Leonard Ellerbe. Shout out to Oscar Dela Hoya. Shout out to Jules, Ring IQ. Shout out to Steve Kim, Rick Glaser, Mike Coppinger, Michael Benson. What's the guy named? Stephen Espinosa. Shout out to all of you guys. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to all of you guys. You see what I'm saying? It is what it is, but let's go. Let's go. Here you go. This is what Oscar Dela Hoya say. And this has been the fight on Twitter on what's going on with Leonard Ellerbe and Oscar Dela Hoya. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. Hold on.
His promoter, yeah, he does sell and he is popular, and with the right dance partner, you can create a mega fight, and that happens to be with Gervonta Davis, and vice versa. Gervonta Davis can get on pay-per-view, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's selling hundreds and hundreds of thousands of homes. Mm-hmm. I know the numbers. I know what they are. I know that they're not past 100,000. I know that for a fact. So does he want to continue fighting on the low-level pay-per-views, or does he want to create a mega event?
So you heard what Oscar said. Oscar said that he knows for a fact what Tank Davis is doing from a number standpoint, and he's doing less than 100,000 pay-per-view buys. Now, again, Oscar could be lying right there. I'm not going to lie. I don't believe that Tank is doing what's being reported. So this is what I'm going to say. I don't believe that Tank is doing less than 100,000 pay-per-view buys. I don't believe that. Now, I do believe that the Isaac Cruz probably did less than 100,000 pay-per-view buys because of the circumstances of that fight with Roland Romero having to pull out 2 weeks before the fight, late replacement, and then and then they went up against the NFL on the Sunday. So I can believe that. I can believe that part. But I don't believe that Tank Davis is averaging, because in business you have something called the law of averages, and they say, okay, he over his past 5 or 6 pay-per-view buys, he averages out to what, 200,000, 300,000, 100,000. So they over the last 5, they can pretty much project where you're going to be at because they have something called the law of averages in business. This is what he averages out to. What I will say is this here: I don't believe those when Michael Benson releases something, well, according to sources, this is what this number did because he heard it from the PBC or Showtime or Mike Coppinger. According to sources, yada, 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 yada. That's what they're leaking out to us. I don't believe it's not that high. I think those pay-per-view numbers, I think everybody's pay-per-view numbers is lower than what's being projected, what they're saying out there. I'm not talking about the ones who actually show the evidence. Hey, this is what we did. You see the evidence, the guys who show it, but the ones who don't show it, but they operate through certain reporters who work for certain networks in order to get their information out there so that it can get to around, so it can get around social media and people can argue and debate about it. I don't believe those numbers are that high. I think those numbers are a little bit lower. How much lower? I don't know. But whatever they say it is, it's not that. And it's not the less than 100,000 that Oscar Dela Hoya is saying. I think it's somewhere in the middle. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? So, and again, I don't have a dog in the race. I don't have a dog in the race in none of this shit, to be honest with you. But it is, just give us the goddamn fights. Give us the goddamn fights. Give us the fights. Shout out to Manny G, man. Manny G, I appreciate you, man, for shout out to Manny G, man, for renewing his membership. You know what I mean? So here you go. This guy right here, what this guy said? I don't even know who he's talking to, so I'm not even going to address him because he seemed like he's upset. He said, what you talking about? What you say, fam? He said, what you talking about? Tank selling out arenas. Fuck pay-per-view. But I think you're in your feelings. You might be from Baltimore. I get it. I understand you guys very well. I don't think you get the context of what the show is talking about, but I hear what you're saying. You're moving the goalposts again. No one is denying that. See the thing, this is the thing. Thug and D, this is the thing, right? So when you have an emotional attachment to a fighter, you know, you have a tendency to get offended about anything that's said that doesn't support your narrative or your confirmation. This is not about who's selling what and selling out arenas and stuff like that. We're, you know, the context of the conversation, and we're talking about promoters, networks who are putting out false information about what fighters are doing, right? This is what we're talking about. I'm not here to, you know, disrupt anybody's in the chat love affair of your fighter. If you love your fighter, love him. If you want to kiss him, kiss him. If you want to make love to him, make love to him. I don't care. We're just talking about the context of the show. How do you feel from a personal standpoint? Because somebody's from your city, I ain't got shit to do with that. I'm not from Baltimore. I'm not from Texas. You know, I'm not from Nebraska. I'm not from Mexico. I'm not from the UK. I'm from Florida, dog. So I don't get into all that other shit. I'm too old for that shit, to be honest with you. But shout out to my dog, Thug and D. Who the fuck is this spamming me? Sorry about that. Gotta spam me. Let me get rid of this motherfucker. Who the hell is this spamming me? I know how emotional. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Let's go to Errol Spence. Let's go to Errol Spence. What we got? We got the likes up yet? How many likes we got? All right, we need 54 more likes. 54 likes for me to open up these phone lines. 54 likes. Y'all call in. See, listen. And then this is another thing. When you lack critical listening skills, see, a lot of you guys, not you guys in the chat, but some of you guys, you lack critical listening skills. So you get offended at shit that I say. If you actually just listen, hear what I'm saying, you will hear that I'm not dissing your fighter. I'm not dissing your fighter. But some of you guys are so low IQ. You so low IQ, and you operate on such a low vibration that when people just talk clear like I'm speaking now, and it's obvious what we're talking about, you take everything as a personal shot because you're not doing good in your life. You're living your life vicariously through a fighter who don't know you, and you just want to be, you know, that's just where you at in your life. You get what I'm saying? And I get it. I understand you're doing bad. I understand you broke. I understand you ain't got no money. I understand that you living your life vicariously through your fighter. I get that, dog. I'm not saying anything against your fighter. We're just talking about the actual what Oscar De La Hoya is saying as it relates to the pay-per-view numbers and how these people are lying about it. You get what I'm saying? That's all. That's all we saying. All the other shit, man, you listen, you grown ass men. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I wish I could play some of these dudes with females. I wish I can. I wish I could play some of these dudes with females. All right, here we go. Let's go over here. Let's go over here to our good brother Errol Spence. I totally agree with him. He make a valid point. Let's go over here to our good brother Errol Spence. Shout out to Lady Shane. Let's go over here to our brother Errol Spence. Errol Spence says this: y'all up 8 a.m. in the morning arguing with each other. I love the passion for this fight. The fight he's talking about the fight, the mystery fight, the play fight, the imaginary fight. He's talking about between him and Terrence Crawford. He say, I love the passion for this fight, but go eat breakfast with your kids if you have some and brush your teeth. He's talking about you two-figure niggas online. Errol Spence has been coming clean lately. He told you niggas about the clickbait. He's been coming clean. So yeah, these niggas be clickbait. He told you about that. Remember he retweeted that. And then now he's talking about you two-figure niggas in your mama basement arguing 7-8 hour lives arguing about two niggas who you don't know. Everybody on this panel is broke. Shoot better than the broke dick dog. Right? And y'all sitting there arguing. Oh, nigga, hell no. Nigga, my fight is supposed to get this. Nigga, 70-20, 80-30. Shut up. Nigga, I'm going to pull up. But where you at? I got shooters. Yeah. What's happening? But you better not see you nowhere. And they ain't going to do a goddamn thing. In your mama basement right now. Shout out to Errol Spence, man. True. Shout out to my sister Bless 365. Okay. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Bless say free tank out of this. Bless always starting shit. Her and Arlette. Bless say she say free tank out of PC. Floyd, let the man fight.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Like all these dudes, like all you dudes who cap for these fighters have turned against you. All these YouTube channels who cap for these fighters, the fighters have turned against you. They turned against you, dog. Did you notice that? They have turned against you. They tired of you niggas lying. They tired of you niggas putting out fake shit. And they tired of you niggas up. Listen, bro, if a grown-ass man have all this energy arguing with some more niggas online about two fighters who are multi-millionaires. Nigga, you living in an apartment. There ain't nothing wrong with that. If you live in an apartment, you can only get what you can afford in life. There's nothing wrong with that. You see what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that, dog, like, the energy you niggas put into this stuff is ridiculous. You should be ashamed of yourself. If you put that energy into moving out your mama's house, helping your mama pay some bills, put that energy in trying to find you a real woman, trying to qualify for a real woman, instead of arguing with niggas online all day on your Obama phone, you'll be all right. You'll be better off. Like, I'm glad Errol Spence said that, man. That's right, Errol Spence. Matter of fact, let's give Errol Spence a round of applause, man. Give Errol Spence a round of applause for that there, man. Yeah, nigga, go brush your teeth, nigga. Wash your mouth, nigga. Change your drawers. Go take a shower. Stop being online arguing, debating about money, nigga. You ain't got no money. You broke. You got 2-3 figures. You're living with your mama. You stay with your baby mama. You're eating up all the cheering cereal. Drinking up all the milk, drinking all the juicy juices. What you sitting there arguing all goddamn day for? About the big fish. That man ain't think about you niggas, man. Or the YouTube channels. Come on, man. Y'all cut that shit out, man. God damn, dog. Niggas should be ashamed of y'all selves. Nigga ain't got no shame. See what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is what it is. Shout out to Hoodie Smoke. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, slow down, coach. Bud should enact his WBO status for Charlo, and then the fight can be made by purse bid. That would kill the roadblock. You know what? I don't even think that'll kill a roadblock. I don't think it'll kill a roadblock. I'm not even talking about Crawford or Spence. I'm gonna tell you why I'm not talking about that, my brother, as it relates to them fighting each other and stuff like that. Because everybody has chosen sides. I get that, right? Nobody's on the side of boxing. Everybody's on the side of their their guy. It's my guy. I get it. I used to be there. You get what I'm saying? So but if he was to go that route, I think he's still gonna go to the same issue. Jamel Charlo is a PBC fighter, and it's gonna be some shit somewhere with that. I honestly believe that. So it is what it is. The black man. You see what I'm saying? The black man, but it is what it is. It is what it is, man. I just point out the obvious. That's what I do. I point out the obvious. These niggas ain't no cash cows. There's not a black fighter in America that's a cash cow. If he is one, please show him to me. Please show him to me. Right? He might be liquor store. He might be the cash cow of the liquor store. He might be the cash cow of the hood. But we know, what we do know, we know a PBC fighter by the name of Caleb Plant, who made $10 million fighting a real cash cow. That we do know. True. And these so-called cash cows are supposed to be making all that money and supposed to be doing all this shit there. They shaking like booty meat. They shaking like booty meat when it comes to paying the fighter cash cow type money. You know what I mean? Like that Canelo pays. So that tells me everything I need to know. That tells me everything I need to know, Phil.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Hey, man, it is what it is. I just called it the way I see it, dog. Called it the way I see it. Shout out to Serge. Hey, okay. Dropping that $2. Bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
We need 30 more. We need 30 more likes. 30 more likes, man. I'm opening up these phone lines. Anybody want to call in? You can call in, fam. You can call in. I just called the way I see it. Called the way I see it. Again, I'm on the side of boxing. If you ain't on the side of boxing, if you dick riding, and listen, if you dick riding your fighter, reverse cowboy and reverse cowgirl, if that's what you doing, guess what, man? We don't do that over here, dog. We don't do that over here. I don't care nothing about the interviews. I don't care nothing about being all in the videos. I don't care nothing about being down with your favorite YouTube channels. Man, I don't care nothing about none of that. But I hold my own nets over here, boy. Believe that. True. He say, John, what you say, man? He say, Coach, play the dog clip with the fences. Oh, you know what? No, I don't have that. I don't have that anymore, fam. I don't have that anymore. I had deleted it. I had deleted it, man. I had it loaded up. Man. But I can't give you this one.
Stop, No. Don't try to break this up, Cassandra. He was tough online in my comment section on Instagram. Now he quiet now that we face to face. No, look at my eyes and reflect, player. Keep that same energy, playboy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I call it the way I see it, dog. I need receipts. Man. Show me something, man. Show me some. I need receipts, dog. That's where I am, dog. See when you play it right down the middle and you don't pick sides, you know what I mean? You pick the side of boxing, you win every time. When you pick the side of dick riding, only thing you're gonna get is you're gonna get some pleasure. But when you pick the side of boxing, you get the fights that you want. You see what I'm saying? You get the fights that you want. That's all I care about. Can we get the fights that we want? Can you deliver? If you can't deliver, the hell with you. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? That's just the way I see it. I care nothing about none of this. I care nothing about your credentials. I care nothing about getting an interview. I don't care about none of that shit. I don't. If you want to come over here and rock with me, cool. If not, cool. It don't make me no never mind. You say, Coach, I think you are getting the Booger Ray. He's unleashed and has grown Twitter fingers this week. I think Leonard has been going through a lot with Oscar Dela Hoya because Oscar is saying that the pay-per-view numbers that they've been saying that Tank has, he says that those are not true. He know for a fact that they are less than 100,000. So, and they never really, you know what I mean? That's what he's saying. And that's what Oscar is saying. So you got people who saying, oh man, Oscar lying. We believe Leonard. And you got people saying Leonard is lying. We believe Oscar. Guess what? Both of them lie. Ain't nothing honest about Leonard Ellerbe and Oscar De La Hoya. They promoters. Promoters lie. That's what promoters do. We know this. Promoters lie. So you notice I didn't take the side of Oscar, nor did I take the side of Leonard. You see what I just did? I said, no, both of y'all full of shit. So I'm going to piss off Oscar supporters, and I'm going to piss off Leonard supporters. And I support Leonard Ellerbe. Contrary to popular belief, I like Leonard Ellerbe. I call him Booger Ray Leonard. I like him. I like the dude a lot. I think he's the best promoter in America. Believe it or not. And the reason why I say I think Leonard Ellerbe is the best promoter in America, because he was able to sell out the Barclays Center with Rolly Romero. With Rolly Romero. With Rolly Romero. Sold out the Barclays Center. I be damned. Well, you gotta be a bad boy to do some shit like that, boy. Sell out the Barclays Center with Rolly Romero? I be damned. Anyways. Yeah, man, these niggas be making love. They be pledging allegiance. They be pledging allegiance to promoters. They be pledging allegiance to promoters. They pledge allegiance to promoters. As a matter of fact, let me show y'all something else. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Sorry about that. There we go. Let me show you something else. My good brother, Leonard Ellerbe. Leonard Ellerbe tagged me in Twitter today. He said, yo, Coach Malachi, this is my handle on Twitter. Coach _ Malachi. He said, yo, Coach, get your boy in line. He's telling me to get Oscar De La Hoya in line. And Leonard says right here, he said, Oscar is a lying piece of shit. To prove it, we will put up $5 million to his $1 million or whatever he can scrape up. We will present the info to an arbitrator who can then determine the winner, and the winner donates money to a charity of their choice. The public can see who's lying. Now, Leonard, I'm all for this. Leonard, and this is to you, sir. I thank you for reaching out to me on Twitter, my brother. I really appreciate that. If you're willing to do that, let the public see. Because this is what you said in your tweet, my brother. You said we're willing to let the public see. If you're willing to let the public see, so be it. Me personally, I don't care about any of that stuff. The only problem I have is when you use those A side, B side, talking points to justify not making the big fights for someone that's a fan like me can see. If that's what you're using as an argument, and that's what you're presenting to the public in order to try to build up some kind of support for, for your side, then that's where I come in at. My YouTube channel is an anti-narrative channel. This is what we do over here on Mr. Ellerbe, sir. Well, I'm an anti-narrative channel. You're one of my favorite promoters. I like you a lot. I really do. You're funny. I like imitating you. You funny. I really like you. You funny the motherfucker. I'm not gonna say he lied to you. And anybody who know me, if I like a fighter or I like somebody, I normally like, make jokes about him and stuff like that because I like him. I really do. You see what I'm saying? But I say all that to say this. If that's what you're willing to do, my brother, then so be it. Do that. But both of y'all can't be telling the truth. If Oscar's saying your fighter doing less than 100,000 pay-per-view buys, and you leaking information to Mike Carpenter and Michael Benson, allegedly, sources say, who knows, wherever that information come from, sources say, we got to say that according to reports, you know what I mean? Breaking news, whatever, however you want to word it. Both of y'all can't be telling the truth. And there is a reason why Showtime don't show their pay-per-view numbers. It's like having a fine lady, right? You a man, you got a fine lady, or whatever the case may be. You a lady, you got a fine husband, or whatever the case may be. And you buy your lady some ice or some jewelry or whatever the case may be. And you want your lady to wear it and all that stuff there. And when she go out, she don't wear the jewelry. Girl, don't you know my man bought me? He bought me a brand new Rolex? He did? Yeah, where's that, girl? You gonna let me see it? No, I ain't gonna let you see it now. Just take my word for it. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, you said he bought you a Rolex. That's what you said. But anyway, this is what my good brother say. My good brother Leonard Ellerbe, he said that you said right here, he said, yo, coach, he said, get your boy in line. So I gotta try to reach out to Oscar Dela Hoya. Oscar, I'm gonna try to reach out to you. You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna let you guys know something. Leonard Ellerbe, Oscar Dela Hoya, Stephen Espinosa, Tom Brown, anybody from the PBC, their fighters or whatever, they won't test me with a 10-foot pole. I can promise you, them niggas hate me with their passion. All of them. I'm pretty sure they do, right? Because I won't push the narrative. I won't push the narrative. I call it the way I see it. Shout out to Bless 365. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Bless, what you say? You say one of y'all lying. I hope it's not you, Booger Ray. For Tank's sake, tighten up, Booger Ray. We watching you.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
I call it the way I see it, dog. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. And, they call me the Lone Ranger. It is what it is.
I want to thank the whole hood who came out here. I love y'all. I did this for the hood. Y'all know I beat that boy.
It is what it is. Shout out to West Side. He say, nah, I ain't gonna. He say, nah, I ain't gonna. He say, I ain't gonna let you see it. Nah, nah, we ain't gonna let you see it. Nah, you ain't got to see it. Now you asking you asking too many questions. Yeah, we ain't gonna let you see it now. Healthy Builder say, Coach, you made it. Made what? Oh man, what you say? You say hate is a pretty strong word. Yeah, it is a strong word. But in my case, yes. Yes, that word, that 4-letter word, hate, in my case, yes. Yeah, them motherfuckers hate me with a passion. I can pretty much guarantee you that. I'm privy to information, Damien, that you're not privy to. So, Sauce Louis, he say, Coach, you got some of the savviest audience. That's why they say that's why he reaching. I'm a small channel, man. I'm a small channel. We the little guys on the block. We the little guys on the block, but we coming through this motherfucker like Debo. Yeah. Shout out to who else we got in the building? Mr. LDBC, he say, nah, Coach, you borderline LDBC. What he say? He say, nah, Coach, you borderline LDBC. Well, them niggas hate me. Hey, Mr. LDBC, you know that for a fact. Them niggas hate me with a, well, come on, man. You already know what time it is, man. Shit. Benjamin, shout out to Benjamin. He said put that hate in the ring. Davis versus Garcia. You know what? I don't think there's an issue with Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia. Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia will get in the ring and fight each other. You know what I mean? You know, you notice I'm not saying that Tank is afraid of Ryan and Ryan is afraid of Tank. I'm not saying none of that. Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, they'll fight each other. Those are fighters. It's not them. It's the other shit that's gonna be around it. And I told you guys, it's gonna be Oscar Dela Hoya. It's gonna be and I'll probably get blocked again by some people. I don't care. If you want to block me, block me. I swear to God, I don't care, dog. I swear to God, I don't care. Anyways, Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, they'll fight each other in a heartbeat. I really believe that. Now, Ryan do be capping. Tank don't cap when it come to fights. You know what I mean? But we do know they have a business plan. You know, Tank is an attraction, so they're moving him down the attraction route, and we get that. You know what I mean? We get that. So, but you get what I'm saying? But I want to see these fights. But I can tell you, the Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis fight, that shit ain't gonna happen. Tank is fighting Isaac Cruz next. After that, he'll probably fight somebody. He'll probably fight some lesser known fighter that's on the PBC. I forgot. We gotta look at their roster again. But you're not gonna see those fights, dog. So I'm just being honest with you, fam. I'm just being honest. You're not gonna see those fights. You're not gonna see any of those fights. I'm just being honest with you. You know what I mean? They told us what it was. But yeah, but I think those two guys will fight each other in a heartbeat. But it's gonna be the A side shit. You know, I'm the cash cow. Nigga, ain't none of you niggas cash cows. You're not a cash cow. And I told her to disagree with my brother Leonard Ellerbe when he said that, yeah, man, Tank Davis is the cash cow. He's the face of boxing. Where? I told her to disagree with that. How? He sold out the Barclays Center. He does really good at the gate. I do agree with that. But if motherfuckers making $500,000 fighting him, and then Caleb Plant is making $10 million fighting Canelo, that tells you who the cash cow. If PBC is offering Canelo, the boy from Mexico, $100 million to come over here and fight us, that tells you who the cash cow is. Do you get what I'm saying? Guarantee money. Because you know Canelo don't do back end. We know he don't do back end. No, puto, I don't do back end, puto. We don't do no 1.5 and 2 million guarantee. No, we don't do that, puto. We don't do that. And Mexico, I say, I don't know how you do them other Mexicans on I don't know how you do those other Mexicans on your roster, I say. But me, I need all of mine, baby. I need all of mine. Nello wanted all his, he got his. It is what it is. Oh, phone lines. We got the 300 plus? Okay, so thank you for letting me know, sis. Thank you for letting me know. Let me open up these phone lines, man. Let me open up these phone lines. I don't want nobody calling me. Talking about, oh, man, you talking about my fighter. I don't want no sensitive, I'll be sure niggas calling me. Listen, get some good listening skills. I'm not dissing your fighter. I know how moist you niggas is about your fighters. Trust me. Hey, okay. Shout out to Boom Boom for dropping that quarter over. Bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Boom Boom said if Dana White ran boxing like the UFC, he eliminated all of the promoters and sanctioning bodies. Would any big time boxers be undefeated? No, but then if Dana, but in the UFC, a lot of those fighters they don't make the money that the top guys make. I mean, when I said I mean the top guys, like the cream of the crop fighters over there don't make the kind of money that the cream of the crop fighters over here make. They make millions, but they don't make something like the top guys. They may make a million or two or three or whatever the case may be, you know. But because you know in boxing, most fighters don't make no money. They really don't make a lot of money in boxing. You know what I mean? There's only the top names that's making money. Boxing is top heavy as it relates to the people who make a lot of money. And then you got everybody else. You know, the mid levels. You got the upper echelon, which is only a few. Then you got the mid levels. And then you got the lower tier. Boxing is mostly lower tier fighters. You know what I mean? On both sides of the fence, to be honest with you.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
It is what it is, man. Shout out to JRG. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He say spitting facts. Yes, sir.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Shout out to my main man, Drew. Hey, okay. Dropping that quarter of a bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He say tag you on Twitter. A video of Roger Mayweather laughing when they ask what did Lenny contribute to Floyd's success, and Floyd don't need him. He does nothing. Yeah, I seen that video. I think that's what Roger. Yeah, I seen that video, Drew. I think I seen that video. I remember.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Yeah, it is what it is, fam. It is what it is, man. And so you gotta keep things in its proper context. You gotta keep things in its proper context. Phone lines is open, man. 530-494-9636. 530-494-9636. Phone lines is open. Anybody want to call in? Call the old boy, man. We can talk. I don't want no I'll be sure dudes calling me more crying. Oh man, you hating on my fighter. Why you got listen, I know what state you niggas come from. It's 2 states y'all come from, and it's 2 cities you gonna come from. I don't call here crying, dog, whining. If you jumped in the middle of the live, just go back and listen to the whole thing in its entirety. You know what I mean? Because I don't want you calling all sensitive with the PS5 in your hand, wanting to argue and debate. I'm not gonna argue with you, okay? I'm not gonna do it. Just not gonna do it. Shout out to Sauce Louis. Sauce Louis, what you say, family? He say, but think he's talking about boxing, coach, and its revenue. Oh, okay. Boxing and its revenue, okay. Not says his numbers are obviously fake. They don't show the numbers, but I get what you're saying. The stuff that they're saying. All of these, all of them lie about the numbers, dog. All of them lie about the numbers. It is what it is. He said Daniel Cormier told the numbers coach he was making $80,000 when he fought Jones, but Dana gave him $1 million bonus. Oh, okay, damn, $80,000. God, damn. You get what I'm saying? But if you look at what the average boxer make, Mr. LDBC, you know the average fighter, and we pulled that up. The average fighter only makes like $40,000 a year. A lot of you guys probably didn't know that. The average boxer only makes $40,000 a year. Oh, they're trying to spam me, boy. They're trying to spam me. Well, hey, good looking out on that, Lisa. They're trying to spam the old boy. I don't piss some niggas out. They mad. They thought they hot now, boy. They spamming me and everything. It is what it is. It is what it is. Phone lines open, man. 530-494-9636. Man, y'all call in and talk to the boy, man. Anybody got something to say, man? Y'all call in, man. You know what I mean? But anyways, whatever is going on, whatever is going on with Leonard Ellerbe and Oscar Dela Hoya, that's beef. That's always going to be there. I told you guys last week, 2 weeks ago, I said, man, ain't nothing going to materialize with this Oscar Dela Hoya when Tank and Ryan Garcia. Not because of Tank, not because of Ryan Garcia. Tank, once Tank re-signed with Mayweather, you already knew what time it was going to be. I said they're going to A-side him to death. And before they not even negotiating. They're not even negotiating. And they talking about, well, you know, your fighter, he ain't really do the pay-per-views you saying he doing. I know the numbers. And then Leonard is saying that, hey, man, this man lying about the numbers and this and that, yada, yada, yada. It just is what it is. And right now, the fact of the matter is, see, I'm in the bottom line business. What is the bottom line? Are you going to get these fighters in the ring or not? If, you know what I mean? I told y'all what it's gonna be. It's gonna be Floyd or Leonard. Floyd, it look like it's gonna be Leonard. Floyd and Leonard, they're gonna be doing this back and forth. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Tank fighting Isaac Cruz next, and he probably gonna fight Roland Romero again later on down the line. That's just what it's gonna be. We already know this. We already know this. Shout out to Marion G. She said no one is calling in because no one wants the heat you're dishing out today, coach. I mean, you know, anybody want to call in and talk to the boy, they can. Shout out to Ecuador. Ecuador says, he said, coach, do you know something that we don't know? What makes you think that Tank will fight Isaac Cruz next? Keep watching. Keep watching. Keep watching. He ain't fighting Ryan Garcia next. You can believe that. Just keep watching. Calvin Ford already said it. We won't Cruz. We want Pitbull next because we made him a star. I already said it. So. Just a fan. What to say, fam? You say, coach. He say, coach, I like Booger Ray as a promoter. He likes Reverend Floyd. Yeah, I like Booger Ray, man. I like Booger Ray. I like Leonard. I do like Leonard. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, coach? It's O from Cali.
O from Cali. Talk to me.
Yeah, I just want to ask you a few questions. Just so in your opinion, can you duck somebody with the numbers? You know, pretend you want to fight somebody, but you know that might be a dangerous fight. You don't want to fight them, so can you duck them with the numbers?
When you say ducking with the number, what do you mean?
So you outprice yourself. It's a popular term, like basically you outprice. Because you really don't want to fight.
Yeah. It goes both ways. Like you can have a fighter. See, this is the thing, right? When this is what they do. Like when they have fights that's coming together. Let's say it's two big name fighters that's going to fight each other. You know, you have these people who put the money up for these fights. They do like with an estimation. Okay, well, you know, we look at this is the number that we think this fight should do. And they like to pay based on what they think the fight should do. Now, was Caleb Plant worth $10 million? No, he never had a pay-per-view before in his life. But because it's Canelo, he's a cash cow, he can afford to pay, let Caleb Plant get $10 million because he's really that. When a fighter says he is a cash cow, and he's doing this A, B, C, and D, then what happens is when you go into negotiations, you're going to have to prove that, show that you are that what you say you is. Those numbers that you and your fans and your promoters or handlers said that you were doing, we're going to have to see that. And then when we find out that this dude ain't really doing what you say he's doing, and then you're offering me $2 million for a fight that everybody and you saying that should do 400,000 or 500,000 pay-per-view buys, you know what I mean? It just ain't adding up. You get what I'm saying? So a fighter can ask for too much money and price himself out, and a fighter can offer a fighter too low of a price to make the fight and do it like that. And that's the way you can duck somebody as well. It go both ways.
Yeah, I agree with that because you know I do listen to the LG channels and I take the information as it comes in from everywhere. Mm-hmm. So when I said that, I knew he was lowballing the numbers, but it had me thinking. So I think Tank is a cash cow at 135, but I think it's a different definition. Yeah. Tank basically makes his. So I think Tank may not be doing those numbers he say he doing, even though I think all industry lie about the numbers. I think Tank takes the bigger split. So basically, his money is coming from taking the bigger split instead of doing astronomical.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
So Oscar kind of had a point.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, Tank should get the bigger split. You know, if that's what you want to go with, because he has a track record of pay-per-views, and Tank's selling out venues. So he's a proven commodity. But he's a draw, but he's not a cash cow. There's a difference between being a draw and a cash cow. Canelo is a cash cow. Tank is a draw. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that. I think people using multiple definitions of cash cows. Because I would say a cash cow is in the division, like, or basically in boxing, who makes the most. Yeah. But I mean, there's a saying like, okay, you got to pay the most too, as far as who's fighting you. You have a big payday. Yeah. I mean, you know, if you what you say you is, how come Canelo is a cash cow, and when motherfuckers fight him, they making career high paydays, 8 figures, 7 figures, and stuff like that. But you said you a cash cow, and dudes making a career high payday for somebody fighting the guy who you say that's a cash cow, they're making $500,000. Make it make sense. Yeah, so, that's a better definition of cash cow, though. That is.
Make it make sense.
Do you think? Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry about
that. Do you think Tank is a top earner at the 135?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like one of the top earners?
Yeah. Tank Davis. Yeah, listen. Tank Davis is he sell out arenas. The proof is in the pudding. He does the numbers at the gate. I don't know what he does pay-per-view. I can't sit here and lie and tell you, yeah, man, I know for a fact Tank did 200-some-thousand pay-per-view buys. If I tell you that, I'd be lying. Fact of the matter is, Leonard Ellerbe hasn't released the numbers. Fact of the matter is, Al Heyman, Stephen Espinosa, or Floyd Mayweather, they haven't released the numbers. So if they don't release the numbers, we don't know what he's doing. We're only going by what secondary and thirdary information is saying, thirdary sources is saying. And all of them getting the information.
That's true.
And all of them getting the information from probably Leonard Ellerbe or maybe someone at the PBC that's giving them that information. So you gotta,
that's true.
You gotta understand. Before I cut you off, you gotta understand something. You gotta understand where the loyalty lies with the people who put this information out. That's what you gotta look at. Like, who are they loyal to? on YouTube, on the YTBC, I can tell you a lot of these channels, they're loyal to the PBC. So they're always going to put information out that support PBC fighters to push a certain narrative. I can tell you that off the rip. I know that for a fact. I got receipts showing that shit.
Yeah, so
you see what I'm saying? So you gotta see both sides. You gotta see both sides. Yeah.
I definitely agree, because at first I thought you came off as saying like the numbers don't matter as much as all these other channels are saying they do. But you saying give me the proof of the numbers is basically right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Because put it this way: if let's say I'm a fighter, you're a fighter, and I'm telling you that I'm a cash cow over you, right? And I'm telling you I'm doing this number, I'm doing 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. Every time I fight, I'm doing 300,000 pay-per-view buys. And that's what I'm talking about. And I'm just, and then I'm selling out the arena. So we know I'm doing that. That can be proven. We've seen the gate on that. But you also saying that, I'm also telling you that I'm doing more pay-per-views than you. And I'm using that as a negotiation angle in order to get you to take less money. Now, are you going to go into negotiations with me without asking me? Are you going to say, "Oh, coach, I'm going to just take your word on it that you did those numbers on pay-per-view"? Or are you going to say, "Okay, man, well, listen, man, if you want me to take this kind of money or whatever the case may be, let me see what you did. Let me open it. Can you show me the books and let me see how many, what the numbers are really like?" If you ask me that, would you ask me that? Yes or no? Would you want proof?
Definitely.
You want proof, right? Because
I want proof.
I'm using this as a negotiation ploy to get you to take less money.
Exactly. So the numbers are important.
Yeah. So numbers are important. So the numbers are important. I just can't pull a number out my ass and say this what happened. Then I ain't show no goddamn proof. And then I'm telling you, hey, look here, man. I want you to take this $500,000, dog, because I did 300,000 pay-per-view buys, and I'm using that to justify offering you this amount of money. And then if you ask me, well, man, coach, man, show me the numbers so I can really see what's going on. Nah, baby boy, you don't need to see those numbers. Oh, just take my word for it. No, it don't work that way. Don't work that way. But
like I said, I watch LDBC channels. I watch your channel. Sometimes they'll say a number, and you'll come back and basically prove that number to be wrong. So that's why I watch both of y'all channels. To kind of like, you don't take all their words for, actually face value. You just kind of like, well, you do take it. You basically got to think for yourself. Yeah, you got to think for yourself. You have to be a critical thinker. All this is speculation. Yeah, speculation. All this is speculation because nobody released numbers. Nobody knows. All right, that's all I want to coach. Yeah. All right, shout out to O. Shout out to O from Cali, man. All right. Peace. Yeah, shout out, man. Yeah, nobody knows. Shout out to Manny G. Hey, okay. For dropping that half for bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Shout out to Manny G. What you say, fam? Oh, he didn't say anything. Salute the Manny G, man. I appreciate the support.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Thug and D say we know those gates though. Yeah, we do know the gates though. That is true, Thug and D. We know the gates. The problem is this: we know the gates, but we don't know the pay-per-view numbers, right? So what I'm saying, Thug and D, is this: I know you have a job. You work on your job. If me and you, I just gave a perfect analysis. You know what I mean? About, okay, damn, man, we negotiating, and you're telling me that you're doing A, B, C, and D. I know what you're doing behind door number 8. That's the live gate. But you also saying you're doing this behind door number B. And I'm asking you, okay, baby boy, we know what you did at door number A. Door number 1. We'll just say door number 1. I know what you're doing at door number 1, the live gate. But what are you doing in door number 2? Because you told me that you threw that in as well as justification to justify lowballing me. And if you're willing to show me what you did behind door number 1, but you're not willing to show me what you did behind door number 2, but you're using door number 2 as an argument, lumping it with door number 1, then guess what? I got a problem with that. That's all I'm saying, fam. I mean, that's just common sense. That's just common sense, dog. That's just common sense. Shout out to Jonathan for dropping that $2 bam super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
What you say, fam? He said Javante VW Beetle Davis is the new bubble boy.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
But again, as I told you guys, that fight ain't gonna happen. That fight ain't gonna happen. It's just gonna be a bunch of, just a whole bunch of A-side talk. Both promoters gonna be lying. That right now, this is what's going on, guys. Right now, everybody's fighting for the information war. The information war, right? On YouTube, I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. On YouTube, mainstream media doesn't talk about boxing. They talk about it every now and then when a fight comes up. But on YouTube, the content creators run the block. The content creators are the ones who talk about boxing every day, right? The content creators. So all of the boxers watch the content creators. Anytime there's a video that comes out about Tank Davis, more than likely Tank Davis watches it, him and his team. Anytime a video come out about Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence, more than likely they watch it. They got their team there watch it, right? Anytime. So this is what's going on. Other YouTube channels watch other YouTube channels. I'm being silent with you guys. I'm being silent with you guys. Now, you know for a fact that I don't pledge allegiance to nobody because, just what I say. Just what I say. You guys know I'm standing on my own too. I'm holding my own nuts on this, right? And this is just what it is. So when you gotta, the information war is, let's see, can we push our narrative with certain channels? Some channels are willing to push those narratives because they get some kind of kickbacks and it helps them as well. We get an interview, it get us more subscribers, get more viewer count on our videos. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But what happens is sometimes you can be compromised and you won't tell the truth. You get what I'm saying? And I get it. And if that's not what you're in it for, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But me, I'm not a part of that group. I'm not a part of those groups or cliques or crews. So I just try to tell it the way it is. I'm going to offend some people on the left. I'm going to offend some people on the right. That's just how it is. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to have some people who like me. I'm going to have some people who don't like me. That's fine. That's fine. I don't take it personal. It's just I got to call it the way I see it, dog. That's all. That's all. Sauce, what you say, fam? Sauce Louis, you say, Coach, but some promoters are using the numbers to duck. That's the difference. You're right about that. You're right about that too. They'll use numbers to duck. They'll use numbers to not the fighters, but some of these promoters. That's how they roll. And this is what I tell you. They're like politicians. They lie all the time. So you know what I mean. That's what they do. You can't really believe. You got to take what they say with a grain of salt. You got to take what they say with a grain of salt. You get what I'm saying? And that's all it is, fam. Just take what they say with a grain of salt. Don't take anyone. Don't just jump out the window and take anybody's side. Just sit back and listen to everybody. Hear what everybody got to say and be a critical thinker. That's all I can say. Just be a critical thinker, fam. Be a critical thinker. You know what I mean? All these motherfuckers lying. That's all I'm saying. All of them lying. What do you say, Connect? You say Big Rolo. You say Big Rolo and never fighting on pay-per-view again. Yeah, I doubt that. I doubt if Rolo ever fight on pay-per-view again. I don't know. You know what I mean? He might. I don't know. He might. I don't know. Oh, King KO, you talking to Anna Lee. Okay. Cool Bro Curl, what do you say, fam? The hell? Yeah, I don't know what happened right there. I see my computer froze. Sorry about that, guys. I see my computer froze. Might be my haters at me. Kane, what do you say, fam? I mean, Coach, you seen Tank tried to post Ryan numbers when Ryan called them out, saying he don't get paid as much. No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Thug and D, what do you say, fam? He said, why is we talking? These guys serious anyways. This guy pulled out of multiple fights. Yeah, but it's not even about, you're right about that, Thug and D. Ryan Garcia has pulled out of multiple fights. And if you've been on this channel, I've said many times that if you're Leonard Ellerbe, you cannot take anything Ryan Garcia or Oscar De La Hoya say seriously. But what you got to understand is you're not on Twitter. So on Twitter, these guys are having a very, very heated back and forth on Twitter. So we are addressing the merits of that which is being said from an Oscar De La Hoya standpoint. Oscar De La Hoya did an interview on Fight Hype. So this is why we're talking about it. He did an interview on Fight Hype. He said what he said. Leonard Ellerbe said Oscar De La Hoya is lying. And Leonard Ellerbe said that he is willing to prove that Oscar De La Hoya is lying by which I don't think I'm not gonna lie, I don't take Leonard Ellerbe serious about this at all, to be honest with you. I don't take him serious at all. As you can see right here, he say Oscar's a lying piece of shit. To prove it, we will put up $5 million to his $1 million. I think Oscar got a net worth for like $200 million, something like that. He got a lot of money, Leonard. I don't know, Leonard. I don't think you got the kind of money Oscar De La Hoya got, Leonard. But I'm not pocket watching. But he say, or whatever he can scrape up. We will present the info to an arbitrator, who then can determine the winner, and the winner donates the money to a charity of their choice. The public can see who's lying. No, why not just show the numbers? Why go through all that? Why not just show the goddamn numbers to the public? Why go through all of that? Just show the numbers to the public. Shit. Shout out to my main man Quentin Brantley. Hey, okay. For dropping that. Bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Quentin he say, Coach, enjoying the show, contributing to the stickiest of the icky. Yes, sir.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Shout out to my brother, man. Yes, sir, man. Yeah, I appreciate that, Quentin. I hope you have a good day at work, my brother. That's all I'm saying. Thug and D, what you say? You say they both lying. That's all I'm saying, fam. That's all I'm saying. Both of them lying. You say every time Tank tweet, he try to go back and delete them. Yeah, he go back and delete them. Time Tiger, what you say? He said, yes, Coach, those pay-per-view numbers ain't that impressive. Canelo's on a whole different level. What I'm saying is any company that don't show the numbers, this is not about who's impressive or who's not impressive. What I try to do here today, guys, is this. Bust up this cash cow face of boxing stuff. Leonard Ellerbe said that Tank Davis is the cash cow boxing and he's the face of it. We just blowed that up. That's a lie. That's a lie. This is not knocking Tank. This is hyperbole to the highest degree. Now, is he popping in the hood? Yes. Does he great numbers at the gate? Yes. Does he do good pay-per-view numbers? I don't know. Why do I say I don't know? Because we haven't seen them. They don't show them.
You just sit here, you don't know what I'm talking about?
So we don't know what he does. True. We don't know what Errol Spence does. They don't show him. We know what Terrence Crawford do because ESPN shows them. This how you know he only did 150,000 against Sean Porter. We know what he do at the gate because his gates do damn good. So you see this guy's numbers, but we don't know what he does over here doing, and you using that as a negotiation tactics to justify the fuckery. Well, we know what he doing, yeah, but we damn sure don't know what you doing. Or when you don't need to see what we doing. You see what I'm saying? That's our confirmation bias shit. Shout out to Knockdown 305. Hey, okay. For dropping that. Bam, cash app on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
See, you don't use the argument, and then when I point out the double standards of your argument, then you say, well, I don't want to talk about that no more. No, you don't want to talk about it no more because I just debunked that shit.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Shout out to my sister Misfit. As I tell you guys, see, don't be online arguing with these dudes. These dudes argue both sides of the coin. You got a coin, right? Heads or tails. They flip the coin. These dudes will argue heads, go to war, and everything, right? And then as soon as it fall on tails, they'll argue tails. You can't beat them. You can't beat these dudes. They argue both sides of the coin. They do it every time. It is what it is. That's why I said you can't be arguing with these dudes. Shout out to Lisa. She said nobody wants to see proof. We want to see the fight. Yeah, we want to see the fights. He want to show proof of this and proof of that. Yeah, fuck that. You know what proof I want to see? Show me proof of fight date. Show me proof of a press conference. Show me proof of these dudes getting in the ring. Y'all see him arguing this bullshit about, yeah, man, we'll prove it and do this and do that. Yeah, if y'all ain't release the numbers, man, y'all ain't gonna do shit. Both of y'all full of shit. Oscar Dela Hoya and Leonard full of shit. And I like Leonard. I like you, Leonard, but you're full of shit too. That is true, man. But you and Oscar full of shit. True. If you want to block me again. It don't matter. I don't give a damn shit. I'm good. Y'all please get rid of that spell. Y'all know me, man. I don't do no dick riding. Carl ain't got no roof over here. What you say, Connect? You say, and if you really want to compare, I bet Tank wasn't sniffing $2 million paydays at 23. Cool boy, he say, Coach, why they won't let Ryan cross the street? Same reason why they won't let Tank cross the street.
True, true, true.
It always seems like cross the street is one way. Did you notice that? Why cross the street gotta always be one way? The same reason why they won't let Tank cross the street. That's a good answer, huh? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, calling from South Carolina.
What's your name, fam?
Boss Dog.
Boss Dog, talk to me, my brother.
Hey, what's happening, man? I just ain't want to get off topic, but I seen today that Gary Antoine Russell weighed in at 137. He said he did that because he won a campaign at 135 and 140. What do you think about that, Coach?
I ain't gonna lie, dog. I really, really like Gary Antoine Russell, man. I like that dude. He put pressure. He's very aggressive. I guess this is what I think about it. I guess maybe he's trying to leave his options open. It's just to show that if there's a big fight to be made at 135 or 140, he can make it. I mean, that's what I would think. I don't know exactly how the PBC is moving him, but Gary Antoine Russell, man, that dude's something serious, in my opinion. He's something serious. I really like him a lot. I love the fact that he have his brother, Mr. Gary Russell Jr., in his corner. Great trainer, hell of a trainer. I love that dude a lot, especially from a training standpoint. So, you know, it is what it is. I just think he's just trying to keep his options open for both weight divisions. That's all. That's all I think about it.
Yeah, Coach. And he reminded me a little bit of how Barry Hunter talks in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like... No, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Coach.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Them boys, you know, they make it real, you know?
Yeah, they do. Hey, shout out to you. Shout out to my brother, Boss Dog, calling from South Cackalack in the building, man. Salute to you, my brother. Salute to you, my brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to Dirty Red for dropping that half for bam, dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Dirty Red, what did he say, fam? He say, problem is these guys' drawing power don't match up with their talent. He said Cody Crowley said he would fight Boots, but it has to make financial sense. No offense, but since when does Crowley make demands? You know what? I don't even know. I don't even know Crowley's financial situation, but you make a valid point. But I don't. I don't know, man, because I don't know what type of leverage that he have or don't have. I know Boots has he has a deal directly with the networks, which is very smart. I like what Boots did. Look, I'm gonna just deal with the networks. I don't need no promoter or advisory company. I'm gonna just deal directly with the networks, and I kind of like what Boots is doing.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Shout out to Little Green Ass Peach. She say advertise yourself on the block here. Kelly Boston, what you say? He say proof of fight date. That's what we want. That's what we want. All the other shit, man. I ain't in all the other shit. He say Ellerbe just said Mayweather promotion Super Bowl. Shout out to Mr. I Know Boxing. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Shout out to my sister Arlene in the building as well. Harlem's finest.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Cool Boy Curry, he say the B-side should cross the street. That's how it gotta be. This is the problem. And I understand your argument. And I do understand your talking points. I get this talking point all the time, Cool Boy. This time I'm gonna break this shit down. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fought each other, right? And that was a joint promotion. That was PBC and Top Rank. That was a joint promotion. The problem I have, and I really don't have a problem, but I'm just saying this. When everybody talking about cross the street, it's always one-sided. So we have an A-side, B-side talk. Here we go, A-side, B-side. Well, my fighter, he A-side. He doing this, he doing that. And if you want to fight my fighter, then you should do this and do that. And we put all these stipulations, right? I get it. I hear the argument, I hear it. If Ryan Garcia is calling out Tank Davis, he should leave his promotional company and come sign with Mayweather Promotions in order to make that fight. Or leave his network and come sign with Showtime to make that fight, if that's what he wants. You know the crazy part about it? When the same question is posed to guys that's on the other side of the fence, who you may be a fan of, it's never an option for them to, yeah, man, if you want to make that fight, you need to go across the street and go over there and fight them. You get what I'm saying? See, when you start doing that across the street shit, the waters get kind of murky. Because I'm like, man, to me, these are barriers for reasons why fights don't. See, this is my problem with that Cool Boy Curry. We always find barriers for the reasons why fights shouldn't happen. I'm not trying to find a barrier. I don't give a damn A side, B side, C side, D side. Tank can get all the money. Guess what? I don't get none of it. I don't own a percentage of Mayweather Promotions. I'm not the CEO. Leonard Ellerbe is. I don't know Al Heyman and nobody else know the nigga. He in hiding somewhere, right? I don't know Stephen Espinosa. You get what I'm saying? I don't know Oscar Dela Hoya. None of these news. All I care about, dog, okay, what it's going to take to make the fight? If you need to go across the street, okay, go across the street. If y'all need to do a joint venture to make it together, so kind of like what y'all did with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, do that. But when we use these barriers as talking points in arguments, not necessarily talking points, but when you use it as an argument, it seems like it's one of these arguments that are made to stop big fights from happening. That's the problem I have with these types of discussions, because I see this shit. I've been seeing this shit since I've been on YouTube, dog. Shout out to my sister Bless. Hey, okay. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Bless, what you say, sis? You say the PBC doesn't allow the best fights to be made, then that's going to be a really bad look. I don't think they care though. No, they don't care. They don't
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
No, they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. Yeah, they don't care nothing about that. They don't care nothing about that. My thing is, Bless, and this is why we got our commandments. As a fan of the sport of boxing, you shouldn't take no sides on no goddamn promotional company. You know why I love, let me tell you why I love Don King. Fact of the matter is this here. Don King is the best promoter in the history of boxing. You want to know why? Don King was the people's promoter. Golden Boy is not the people's promoter. Mayweather Promotions are not the people's promoter. I'm not down with Golden Boy. I'm not down with Mayweather Promotions. I give two fucks about both. I'm not down with Top Rank. I'm not down with the PBC. I give two fucks about both. Do you know what I care about? Are you going to make the best fights for us as fans? If you ain't going to do that, the hell with you. You get what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. I'm on the side of boxing. I'm on the side of boxing, not A side, B side talk. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, it's Dirty Red out of Mississippi. What's going on with it?
Dirty Red, talk to me.
Man, Coach, I'm going to ask you, why do you think they won't just run one of these fights as an experiment to see will fans actually pay for the fights that we've been asking for? Because my whole problem with all of these folks is that they keep putting fights on pay-per-view, but they're always fights that the fans are not telling, that the fans are saying, that we want. Mm-hmm. Canelo Alvarez hasn't really fought anybody that we wanted him to fight. Even though he fought good fighters, it still hasn't been the guys we said. You know what I'm saying? Errol Smith the same way. He fought good fighters, but it still hasn't been the fighter that we want him to fight. Tank Davis, he ain't fight no damn body we want to see him fight.
Crawford, same thing. We want to see Crawford fight the top guys as well. I mean, blame goes across everywhere, to be honest with you. So.
Right, everybody. That's what I'm saying. I want these guys to just do an experiment to see, you know what? We're going to go ahead and try it and see what they pay for. Because I believe that's half of the issue with the pay-per-view structure. It's not that everybody is going to legally stream it, but I feel like there's a large section of fans that's going to legally stream fights that they feel like aren't worth their money. You asking people for their money.
Yeah.
Give somebody what the fucking give us what it's fucking worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what it is? They know they've been lying about those pay-per-view numbers. No. This is what it is. This is what it is. They put themselves in the corner. They know that they have been lying. Whoever they is. I'm not going to say any names, but they know that they've been lying about those pay-per-view numbers. So now when the rubber hits the road and it's time to make a big fight, it's like, oh, we got money for Canelo, because guess what? People were still illegally streaming when Canelo fought Caleb Plant, right?
Right.
So I think they use that, even though they're telling the truth. They're like, look, yo, man, this fight ain't gonna really do big. This fight ain't gonna do what we're estimating it's going to do. It's a big fight, but it's not a big fight financially. This is what they're saying. Spence and Crawford is a big fight, but they're saying it's not a big fight financially. So both of these guys got to be realistic. If you're a diehard Spence fan, Spence supposed to get $50 million and Crawford's supposed to get $2 million, and he need to be realistic and yada yada yada. You see what I'm saying? Spence got 3 belts. Crawford got 1. Because he got 3 belts, he should get most of the money. Those are the same guys who said that Joshua had 3 belts and Deontay Wilder had 1 belt. Those are the same guys that said that fight should be 50-50. See how they argue both sides of the coin? When it fits their narrative, you gotta this guy gotta get 80%, 70%, and he got 3 belts, you got 1 belt. When it doesn't fit the narrative, yeah, our guy got 1 belt, but it should be 50-50. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is the problem. This is the problem, because you're not negotiating in good faith. It's all bullshit. It's smoke and mirrors, and that's what I gotta say, Dirty Red. But go ahead, my brother.
Right. Well, see, what I'm saying is they have these numbers of the streams. They know how many. Supposedly, they know how many people are illegally streaming these fights. You know, according to these people, it's millions of people. Yeah, so you gotta think about it. So let's say they're telling the truth. So there's millions of people that want to watch fights. There's millions of people who want to watch boxing. You see that from these illegal streams. But here it is. You're still not. You're asking people to pay for something that they're not asking for. So out of those millions, how many of those people are people that would be willing to buy those fights if those fights were the fights that we wanted to see? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, basically,
I think it's a large percentage of people.
Yeah, basically, this is what it is. This is what it is. People going to illegally stream fights. The reason why they can give Tank Davis a pay-per-view fight, knowing that people are going to illegally stream it anyway, is like it's like Ring IQ said, because the operational costs are low. You only give it Tank $1.5 million. You only give it Rolly Romero $500,000. So if the people do illegally stream the fight, we guarantee Tank and Rolly, their guaranteed purse amount is so small that we can take the hit on that. As long as we don't give them $10 or $15 million, we don't have a lot of money that we have to recoup on pay-per-views. You see what I'm saying? So the promoter's job is to make as much money as he can and pay the fighter the least amount of money. That's the promoter's job. The promoter's job is not to make the fighter rich. The promoter's job is, I want to pay you the least amount of money as possible, put on a really good fight so that I can make the most amount of money possible. That's the job of a promoter. You see what I'm saying? So so this is why certain companies, they'll show on public record to Nevada, to the Boxing Commission in Nevada, hey, this guy's getting paid $1 million. This guy's getting paid $1.5 million. They put that, they have low guarantees. The reason, and then you're gonna have to try to get the rest on the back end. They have low guarantees. This tells me everything I need to know. Versus a Canelo step on the plane. Look your puto. No, I don't want that 1.5 million, that 2 million. I need 40 million guaranteed. So that tells you who's who. Canelo, that tells you who's who. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, this dude popping in the hood, the local corner, the liquor store. My cousins know who he is. They like him in the hood and on the corner shooting dice. But when it comes to the commercial money, the crossover bucks, nah, they ain't doing that. And both of these companies have been lying about their pay-per-view numbers. They're not going to. And this is why they don't release it. Yeah.
Here's my question though. If these pay-per-view numbers doing so bad, why in the hell are they putting these fights on pay-per-view in the first damn place. That don't really even make sense, because it really seems like, okay, if you can guarantee Tank 1.5 on a pay-per-view, but you can guarantee Terrence Crawford 3, that's right around what they say, what the dude said, Tank Davis make a pure fight anyway. You know, I don't know if you know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah,
but why are you even putting a paywall in front of these fights to even make it seem like there's some type of, you know, pay-per-view, big pay-per-view back end and all of this shit? To me, it's defeating the purpose. If you ain't making no money off pay-per-view, if everybody's streaming, if you only selling 50 to 100,000, like, come on, like none of this shit really making sense to me at all.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. I'll help you. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Just wait right there. Okay? No, that's my son. My son say he's trying to eat. Yeah, man. Hey, Dirty Ray. Hey, salute to you, fam. I'm gonna give you a round of applause. Thank you for calling in, my brother.
All right.
Yeah, man. So that's all it is. So, shout out to Los Niebla. For dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
He said, I don't remember you guys saying Charlo or Benavidez should go to the zone and fight Canelo. No, they didn't say that. So the reason why they didn't say it was because those guys are pro-promotional company. Therein lies the problem, Los Niebla. You see what I'm saying? The double standards. When it comes to Wakanda, you got to always come to Wakanda to make the fights. But they don't do the same thing on the flip side. So all I do is point out the double standards. When I point the double standards out, I got to be a coon. I got to be an Uncle Tom. I got to be a sellout. I got to be Uncle Ruckus. When I point out the double standards, because I'm not on that code, and it is what it is, man. I get it.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
You say cash out from Quentin? Let me see. Let me check the cash out. Hold on, guys. Shout out to my sister, Misfit. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Shout out to my sister Misfit for dropping that $2. Bam! Super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
She said they Siamese twins, coach.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying, man. You know, it's always one-sided. You see what I'm saying? That Wakanda shit, boy. That Wakanda shit, you know, I bang on that shit hard. Shout out to Bless 365 for dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
What to say, fam? You said, Bless, what you say, sis? You say so it can be the fans that steal the fights, making it hard for us to get the fights that we want to see. No, you know what? They're using the fans as a scapegoat. Bless. They are using the fans as a scapegoat.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Hey guys, hold on, man. I gotta do something with my son right quick. Hold on. Just bear with me one moment. Hold on. Yo, I'm back, y'all. I'm back. The old boy back. Yeah, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I get it. I do get it, guys. I get it. I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, again, this is why I tell you guys, we shouldn't be worried about these fighters' money, these fighters' pockets, who doing what, who's selling what, because that's not our pay grade. But I will say this: when you use that as a talking point, you're gonna have to prove it to me. You're gonna have to show us some shit. You get what I'm saying? And I just like to point out the double standards. I like to point out the double standards. And I will say this, Bless. I think they use us as a scapegoat to justify. See, all of this is smoke and mirrors. Remember, Bless, all of this is smoke and mirrors. And they do these things as for negotiation, as a negotiation ploy. We're gonna use this as a negotiation. But guess what? You're gonna have to prove and show stuff. You got to prove and show these numbers. If you ain't gonna show these numbers, then I can't take your word for it. Shit, damn all that. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Coach? This is Adrian Rayner from Dallas, the main state.
Adrian, talk to me, fam.
The main state. What's up, Coach? Just getting off of work. Listening to your show today. Beautiful show. Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, Ellerbe, Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia. This is going to be a drama show until the fight gets made.
Yeah.
I mean, how is it possible that where are the numbers for Rolly Romero? Where are the numbers? Why is it that man, I've told you this so many times, Coach. And at the end of the day, I don't care. It's not my, like you say, Coach, I'm not making no money out of it.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me and my boxing people in the whole world saying that your guy is a true, legitimate pay-per-view star and that Showtime is really digging in and saying, this guy's the man. He's the next phase. He's the next phase of boxing. Show me the proof of the pudding. I don't care about attendance. People come and go. I don't care. I want to show me the proof that this guy is a legitimate pay-per-view star. And here are the excuses that I see. Well, everybody's feeling you can't make pay-per-view like you used to. I understand what, some people would say that. But let's be honest. Canelo Alvarez, ain't nobody complaining about that. PBCA ain't complaining about giving him $50 million for this fight, $40 million for that fight. But they can't even give Tank Davis $10 million for his fight, $20 million for his fight. He's a mega star. He's right there with Canelo. Yeah. He's right there with Spence. Yeah. That shows you the gap that we got, Coach. Yeah. Canelo's getting paid 10 times more than these guys that are supposedly, even Errol Spence Jr., are supposed to be the stars of boxing, pay-per-view stars. Yeah. Ryan Garcia, he's with the Zone. Ryan Garcia is with the Zone. I'm going to repeat it again. With the Zone. They barely started doing pay-per-views. We'll see if they're going to go in the future and says, and they're going to compare. Hey, does this guy compare with Tank Davis with certain pay-per-view amounts? But, Coach, give me the pay-per-view numbers of Rolly Romero, please. And that's all I got to say, Coach. Man, can we please stop saying that this guy's the biggest thing in the world?
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Adrian, man. Shout out to you, fam. Thank you so much for calling him. Dallas, Texas finest. Yeah, man. Hey, shout out to my sister Misfit. Hey, okay. We're dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Hey, Misfit, what do you say? You say, Coach, I'm getting. You say I'm getting old. That was a replay on my TV about Maul saying we, but I was watching it live this morning on my phone. Bye. We did it. We undisputed.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
We did it first, and we motivate even the greats.
We did it first, and we motivate even the greats. This is different. You understand? We have Jennifer Lopez, we have Maluma, we have J Balvin, we have. So when I called him up, I was like, "Yo, what do you think? What do you think, Eddie? If we bring the belts together?" And Eddie said, "That shit is a good idea." I think the only person that can beat Canelo right now is like maybe 4 years or 5 years from now, my son. Like Triple G and Canelo and all these guys, they're bums, bro. They're bums.
Well, once Teofimo became undisputed, look how many champions we got that's undisputed now.
I want to say, Cairo said the truth is all of these promoters are scared for their cash cow to lose, and they protect them. And us fans lose out. Truth be told, all of these lightweights should have fought each other by now. And you know what? I get it. I do get it. And Leonard Ellerbe broke it down right here. Remember this? And that's why I say, man, like, shout out to Leonard Ellerbe. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to get on nobody's good side or payroll. I give two fucks about your good side of your payroll. I'm good. I'm Gucci over here. But, I will say this. Leonard has been consistent. Leonard has been telling us the truth as it relates to their business model. So I get it. I understand. I do get it. I do understand. And I really do. You know what I mean? I really do. And this right here was very telling.
And who's the next big star under Mayweather Promotions? Ooh, we have quite a few young guns, as I say, you know, and I don't want to leave any names out, but we have a great roster of young talent, and we've been very selective about what we're doing, you know, again, because when you have, you know, an abundance of fighters, it's hard to kind of focus on. When a big fight is to be made, it has to make sense for both sides. No promoter or company is going to put their guy in an event with everything to lose and nothing to gain, especially when we talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Interesting.
But I see them bots, and I see they got them bots spamming me. They spamming the hell out of me, huh? It is what it is. Keep on spamming. Keep on spamming. We're going to keep blocking you. Shout out to my main man, Lou, man. Shout out to Lou Peterson.
The stickiest of the icky. You want to smoke with the old boy, Rick James?
Hey, okay. For dropping that $2, bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Yes, sir.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's good, Coach? This is Keenan from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Keenan from Charlotte. Talk to me, my brother.
Hey, so I definitely done heard your position on this situation, but and you might can call me a little biased, but how I see it, I think Oscar might have a little bit less cap than Leonard, and I say that because if you look at it, I think Oscar and Ryan, I think they trying to play chess, not checkers. Even if you look at what Ryan said with the I ain't going back to 135, but the second Floyd said something about we're only gonna make the fight 135. Ryan jumped straight on it. So you look at Leonard, you know they're gonna use the numbers. They're gonna use numbers. Even, I ain't gonna say Oscar not capping. Oscar might be capping a little bit on saying less than 100K. I don't even think it's less than 100K. But if you think about it, if he say that, now he's putting them in a position to where they might have to release the numbers if they really want to make the negotiations where it's at. And also, I know some people think, Oscar don't want to fight. Leonard Ellerbe might not want to fight. But in the past, I know you remember at Tank his last fight with Rolly, when Ryan was talking to Ellerbe, he said F Golden Boy. And I get it, you know what I'm saying? He's still under contract or whatever. But if you look at it from Oscar's point of view, I know what you say. Ryan the only bullet in that 38, right?
Yeah.
So
Golden Boy got more bullets than they they got some more fighters than.
But do they got any as big as Ryan though? Do they got any as big as Ryan?
No, they don't. I think Ryan
or anybody or even
Ryan Hyman Mugia, Virgil Ortiz. We just looked at their roster. They got some fighters over there, but I see what you're saying from nobody's bigger than Ryan. None of them are bigger than Ryan.
Ryan got the most upside. Let's say that Ryan got the most upside.
Yeah, commercial endorsements.
Right?
Yes, commercial endorsements. He Gatorade commercials. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
Right. He popular, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm looking at it from Oscar's standpoint, shoot, Ryan might get in there and get his ass whooped. But at the end of the day, if you're not really trying to make that fight, once Ryan contracts up, if Ryan really want that fight, like he say, he might mess around and leave and just go sign a little deal just so he can make that fight happen, you know? So ultimately, I think, like I said, they both could be capping. I think they probably both is capping, but I think it's a little less cap with Oscar.
Yeah, you know? I'm not saying as it relates to their fighters. I'm not talking about tanking as it relates to tanking and Ryan Garcia. What I'm saying is, Oscar was saying on Twitter that he know for a fact that Tank is not doing. He's doing less than 100,000 pay-per-view buys. Now, I will say the way he's not capping at that Isaac Cruz and Tank Davis fight did do under 100,000 from what I've heard. The people, and I heard, and I'm talking about people who were involved in boxing. I heard it from like 7 different people. Same shit. Yeah, that shit did terrible.
Okay.
That's why they didn't. That's why you didn't hear nothing from Mike Coppinger. Normally, Mike Coppinger, according to sources, Spence did such and such numbers. According to sources, Michael Benson, tanking and Rolly did So many, you know, did such and such, such and such. I'm like, okay, well, who told you that? Who told you that? And,
right.
You know what I mean? But then when it came to Mario Barrios and Keith Thurman, they didn't have any sources. When it came to King Kong Ortiz and Charles Martin, Mike Carpenter and Michael Benson, they didn't have no source. They didn't come up with no sources say when it was Keith Thurman, when it was what was another one? It's Tank and Mario Barrios, Tank and Cruz. There's none. So they didn't say nothing about that. So it's like they pick and choose when they want to leak certain kind of information out about who sold what. And they do that for negotiation tactics. And then Leonard will go online. Yeah, you know, Tank, he's the greatest fighter in the world. There's no fighter better than him.
Right.
He's selling out. He's selling stadiums out around the world, and he's the biggest star, and this and that. He go to saying all this shit, and he throw all these numbers around, and then now when the rubber hits the road, yeah, we know what he did at the Live Gate, but you said something about them pay-per-view numbers. What are those pay-per-view numbers again, Leonard? Oh, but we haven't released them.
But,
you get what I'm saying? So, no, you got to show that.
Yeah.
If you're going to use that as an
argument. But you know the craziest part about it is, let's say they did fight, and it still went 50-50.
Right.
That would still be Tank's biggest payday to this day.
It'll be both of those guys' biggest paydays. It'll be both of them.
It would, but when we looking at it and how they trying to split up, like it's just funny. Leonard Ellerbe and Floyd Mayweather, they just trying to go so hard for this A-side stuff. I just think they just want a lopsided purse. I just think they want a lopsided purse just because of the risk of the fight. Because I think if the fight did 30-40 million, I promise you, tanking them, they're gonna want 25-30 million.
I mean,
they not going to.
Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody getting that. Ain't neither one of them. There ain't nobody. Ain't gonna be no 30-40 million. I mean, 20-30 million. Ain't nobody getting that.
You don't think so?
No, hell no. Them dudes ain't getting that. Them dudes ain't getting that.
Oh no.
No, they ain't getting that. That's Canelo money. That's Canelo.
No, I'm saying split. I'm saying if it was split, I'm saying both their purses might add up to 30-40 million.
Yeah,
and then they'll split that way.
Yeah, hey man. Hey, if you say so, I don't think so. I don't think so. But hey, Kane, thank you for calling in, my brother. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in, brothers.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Great show, coach.
Yes, sir. Shout out to the one and only. You say why they always want a fighter to leave and go to the PBC. Why they don't never say leave the PBC and go to Golden Boy Match Room? Oh, that's easy because these guys, you know, I like to call it's the Wakanda mindset. So PBC is supposed to be Wakanda, and you can't leave the PBC. You can't leave Wakanda. Everybody has to leave and come over there. And this is the problem that I have. Me being an old school guy, we don't like when I watch Marvin Hagler and Salvador Sanchez and Zuma Nelson and Pernell Whitaker and Roy Jones and all of this stuff. These are different times we're living in, and then you have a casual fan base that can be very easily manipulated, and they'll go online and make straw man arguments for you on behalf of these companies, and that's what it is. And there's a narrative that's being pushed, but now we're seeing that it's not what it appears to be. We're seeing this with this Crawford and Spence shit. All right, rubber don't hit the road. Dude, a free agent knocking on your door. What's up? Oh yeah, just put some information out. Go listen. Get in contact with his YouTube channel. Hello. Yes. This is Tim Smith of the PBC. This is what I need you to do. YouTube channel, my favorite YouTube channel. Yeah. Listen, I know you. Well, how many subscribers you got? Oh, you got 180,000 subscribers, 160,000 subscribers. Listen, you've been doing this a long time. We do give you media access. This is what we need you to do. We need you to shoot some videos out there to show that, hey, this guy Crawford is being unrealistic. Then put that out there and then share that with your other guys who's in your circle. You guys do that, and we're gonna try to put together the information war campaign on him, trying to besmirch him a little bit, make him feel like the walls is closing in on him. I need you to do that for me. Okay, I'll do that for you. And that's what's going on. True. That's what's going on. The boxing science, he said, Wakanda is the center of the universe. Yeah, it is what it is, man. And that's just facts. That's just the reality of the situation. Now, I want you guys to notice something. I didn't disrespect no fighter. I didn't attack no fighter. None of that. Because these low IQ dudes, they'll be like, oh man, he was attacking Tank. I did not attack Tank at all. This is what these niggas gonna lie and say. Oh man, he was attacking Errol Spence. I did not attack Errol Spence. This is what he gonna say. Oh man, he was attacking Terence Crawford. Did not attack Terence Crawford. This is what he gonna say. I was talking about the executives. I was talking about the top guys, how they lie about numbers. That's what I was talking about. That's it. These dudes, they have selective hearing, and when you suffer from confirmation bias, they only hear what they want to hear. They hear what they want to hear. You get what I'm saying? No matter how plain you make it for them. I feel like sometimes I got to get out an etch and sketch or a coloring book. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Short, okay, dumb ass nigga. Oh, this is what I'm saying. Okay, I am saying Leonard Ellerbe and Oscar Dela Hoya is full of shit. Oh man, why you said that about Tank? Yeah. You said that I hate no Tank. Sir, I literally did not say his name. I said Leonard Ellerbe and Oscar Dela Hoya. Oh man, my fighter the cash cow. My fighter sold out the Barclays Center. My fighter, he ride around in the Rolls Royce. Sir, I said nothing about cash. I said nothing about your fighter being the cash cow, even though he's not. I just broke it down. He wasn't the cash cow. Julius from Ring IQ broke it down very well. Sir, that's not true about the cash cow. But I'm not talking about the Rolly and all of that stuff there, sir. Nigga, damn that. Nigga, you a coon. You a sellout. Nigga, Wakanda forever. Wakanda forever. I'm like, God damn, these niggas is slow. Lord, these niggas is slow. True. They slower than the motherfucker. I swear to God, they slow, dog. They slower than the motherfucker. They are. Shout out to Dixon. He said, I watched multiple videos from different YouTubers, and they believe Tank and Rolly had 350,000 pay-per-view buys for their fight. What do you think, Coach? I have no way of gauging that, fam. I have no way of gauging that, Jay Dixon. I have no way of gauging that. I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why I have no way of gauging that is because I don't know what numbers that Tank do. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like those YouTubers who believe that, where is their guesstimation coming from? And please don't tell me, well, we know that this guy sell this much amount of pay-per-views. You don't know that. You want to know how you don't know that? Because Stephen Espinosa never released the numbers of how many pay-per-views he's doing. Well, I just trust what my source told me. So just say that according to your source, what you believe based on what they said, this is what the numbers he's doing. But you don't have proof of that. They never released those numbers. For all you know, they could be lying. True. They don't release the numbers. There's a reason why they don't release the numbers. You know, a few years ago, they used to release those numbers. A few years ago, they used to release those numbers. Now they don't release them anymore. You want to know why they don't release those numbers anymore? I'm going to tell you guys a secret. Y'all come close to the camera. I'm going to come close to the camera. For all the Wakanda out there, do you want to know why Stephen Espinosa of ESPN and these other promotional companies and advisory companies don't release the pay-per-view numbers? It's because the pay-per-view numbers are not doing good. That's why. I know it doesn't fit Wakanda narrative, but that's why they're not doing good. This is why your favorite fighter gets paid $1.5 million on paper. And if he wants to make the rest of his money, he has to make it on the back end of this imaginary pay-per-view numbers that they don't release. Do you get what I'm saying? Had to whisper that to you. Shout out to my sister Bless 365 for dropping that quarter of a bam dub on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Shout out to my sister Bless. She said, I'm looking so forward to seeing Wakanda forever, to be fair. Keep on looking, sis. Keep on looking. It's not there.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
These people are politicians. They're politicians. A politician's job is to lie to you, tell you whatever you want to hear in order to get your vote. These people are politicians. These networks, these mouthpieces for these promotional companies, they just politicians. That's all. They don't give a fuck about me and you. They don't. They don't. Remember that. That's why I love Don King. Don King was the people's promoter. There's not a Don King around today. Don King was the people's promoter. Did he rob his fighters? According to sources and lawsuits, yes. But did the people get the fights that they wanted? Yes, with Don King. Now it's just a whole bunch of niggas explaining, whole bunch of fanaging and promoting, whole bunch of corner store niggas hanging out at the corner store all day, sagging, talking shit, doing, I like what Errol Spence said. I do like what Errol Spence said. Shout out to Bless 365. For dropping that $2, bam, super chat on your boy.
Hey, Leroy.
Super chat received.
Playtime's over, boy.
Down from the bar, there's a platform stage. People pimping, sharp as razor blades.
Shout out to Just a Fan. He said, Coach, you got Andy Ruiz versus Ortiz. I'm gonna go with Andy. I'm gonna go with Andy because he's younger. I'm gonna go with Andy because he's younger. I'm gonna go with Andy. That's why I'm gonna go with Andy because he's younger. I think Andy Ruiz will get a stoppage against Ortiz. I think he'll stop him. Shout out to my sister Bless. She said the movie's coming out. Oh, you talking about the movie's coming out? Yeah, it is what it is. White Dixon, what you say, fam? He said, yeah, they turned boxing from a sport to a business, and the fans are suffering because of it. They don't give a fuck about us. I can tell you that right now. I'm on the side of boxing, so I don't, you know what I mean? I'm on the side of boxing. And I can afford to be on the side of boxing because there's nothing that no one can offer me. There's nothing no one can offer me. So I don't have to push any narratives or nothing like that. I just don't. You know what I mean? I'm going to call it the way I see it. And I let you guys decide, you make your own minds up. I just want everybody to be objective. Just be objective and be a critical thinker. Challenge everything. Challenge everything that I say. Challenge everything that your favorite YouTube channel say. Challenge everything that Leonard Ellerbe says. Challenge everything that Oscar Dela Hoya says. Challenge everything that Stephen Espinosa says. Challenge everything that Bob M says. Challenge everybody. When you choose the side of boxing, you'll never go wrong. When you become a part of the Oscar De La Hoya fan club, you'll go wrong every time. When you become a part of the Leonard Ellerbe and Mayweather Promotions fan club, you go wrong every time. When you be a part of the Top Rank fan club, you go wrong every time. When you be a part of the PBC fan club, you go wrong every time. But when you're a part of the boxing fan club, you'll always go right. You always go right. True. You always go right, fam. You always go right. He said, Coach, Tank fighting next. Martin. Yeah, he might be fighting that dude, Martin. It's definitely gonna be a PBC fighter. You can definitely believe that. He's gonna be fighting that dude, Martin. And then they already told us what time it is. So Tank more than likely is gonna be either that or he'll probably be fighting Isaac Cruz again. He's gonna be fighting Isaac Cruz again. Okay, so anyways, tomorrow night we got a fight. Tomorrow night we have a fight, guys. We have Danny Garcia. We have Danny Garcia versus Jose Benavidez. And I think we got Gary Antoine Russell is fighting on that undercard. As a matter of fact, let's look at the undercard. Let's see. Gary Antoine Russell is fighting on the undercard. I like Gary Antoine Russell. I really do. I like Gary Antoine Russell. Hold on, guys. And listen, if for you other guys, I want you to remember what Errol Spence said right here. Shout out to Errol Spence, the big fish. I know his compadres from Dallas, Texas hate my guts. It is what it is. I really don't care. Don't give two fucks. Hate me, love me. I don't give a damn. But I give credit where credit is due. Errol Spence said it best. Y'all up 8 a.m. in the morning arguing with each other. I love the passion for this fight. But you go eat breakfast with your kids, if you have some, and brush your teeth. Too much energy. This how you know a nigga broke. When you see niggas arguing all night long about some shit that they really shouldn't be putting that much energy into, all day pocket watching, talking about numbers that they never heard of before. He's talking to you. Hold on. Shh. Errol Spence is talking to you niggas. What I call y'all, the two-figure niggas who live with your mama in her basement. Yes, he's talking to you. Yes. The ones who were capping for him, he's turned on you. The big fish has turned on you guys. He's turned on the YouTube channels and he's turned against you. You fanboys. He's turned against you. Eat you some breakfast with your kids. Go brush your teeth. Pull your pants up. Get out your mama's basement. Okay? And you'll be all right. Let's give everybody a round of applause. I want to thank everybody, man.
I want to thank the whole hood who came out here. I love y'all. I did this for the hood. Y'all know I beat that boy.
It is what it is, man.
You're begging me not to leave you, and I refuse to let you go.
All right. Let's make it happen, man. Let's make it happen, man. Once again, shout out to Leonard Ellerbe. Shout out to Oscar Dela Hoya. Shout out to the boys over there at Fight Hype. Shout out to Floyd Mayweather. Shout out to the PPV. Shout out to Top Rank. Shout out to Matchroom. Shout out to Queensberry. Shout out to all of you guys, even though you guys can't stand me. Shout out to all you guys. You know what I mean? I'll be back 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. This is the hottest boxing podcast, daytime podcast, because I don't want to disrespect anybody. Daytime podcast on the YTBC. Period. Afternoons, we the hottest over here. We small, we're growing organically, and we're gonna make it do what it do. It ain't shit nobody can do about it. Okay? Let's go ahead and do it like this here, man. Where we at? Shout out to Eric Grimey. Hey, okay. Shout out to Swift 718. Hey, okay. Modern King Boxing. Shout out to Eskamani. Shout out to Sabrina Lee. Shout out to Major Key Boxing. Shout out to John Doe. What up, Doe? Jason Dockery. Massachusetts Fishing. Shout out to my sister Bless 365. Hey, okay. Shout out to Frank Forrest, the What Mr. Ham, Old Daddy Boxing, Arnold Muketsi. Shout out to BG. Oh yeah, shout out to my brother Ring IQ, Jules from Ring IQ. This guy is probably one of the most intelligent people that I ever had the pleasure of talking to. This guy is a very, very smart guy, bright guy. He loves the sport of boxing. One of my favorites I listen to every day, and I mean this here. There's no cap, none of that. He's very objective, and he's on the side of boxing. I like people that's on the side of boxing. If you're a dick rider, can't roll with you, baby. You're in the one-seater. You're in the one-seater. You know what I mean? Dick riding if you dick rider, that's you're in the one-seater, dog. You're in the one-seater. See what I'm saying? Shout out to BG. Hey, okay. Shout out to Arnold McKenzie. Shout out to Old Daddy Boxing. Shout out to Ralph Reacts. Shout out to Oscar. Shout out to Get Touched Up Boxing. Shout out to Steve Kim. Shout out to Big Hawk from Maryland. Shout out to BWG. Shout out to Carmen Serene. Shout out to my brother Damian Bennett from B-More. Shout out to Mark Nash from the ATL. Shout out to BWON. Shout out to Lady Shan Dunham Season. We did it first, Shan. We did it first. And we motivate even the greats. Shout out to Juan Carrillo. Shout out to Bernard Burton. Shout out to LaShawn. Shout out to Frank the Tank. Shout out to Ricky Ricardo. Shout out to Knockdown 305. Knockdown 305. We did it first, fam. We did it first. Dade County's in the building. We did it first. We motivate even the greats. Shout out to Flex BX. Shout out to Manny G. Shout out to Boxing Nerd. Shout out to Easy E. Shout out to Easy EP. Shout out to Candy Slim. Shout out to Drumming for Life. Shout out to Just a Fan. Shout out to Doug Right Side. Shout out to Deborah Booker. Hey, okay. Shout out to Manny 209. Hey, shout out to Adrian Big Plenta. Hey, shout out to MFB. Shout out to Bush the Can Man Cassidy. Hey, shout out to Troy Graham from B-More. Shout out to AB Sounds. Keep your head up, fam. Hey, shout out to Kathy W. Shout out to Dean West. Shout out to Jim 82. Shout out to Miguel Tartico. Shout out to Here to There. Shout out to True Good of 402, man. Hey, okay. Omaha, Nebraska's finest. Shout out to Hair Hero Elite. Shout out to who else we have in the building? That's my cousin there, Hair Hero Elite from Orlando. Shout out to Jay Rodriguez. Shout out to Folo Bond. Shout out to Philo 58. Hey, okay. Shout out to Ron Boy Fresh. What's up, Slim? Hey, okay. Hey, Ron Boy, man, the powers that be reached out to me, man. They told me, man, you gotta ease up a little bit, baby boy. You gotta ease up a little bit. Hey, okay. Shout out to my brother Dantes right here in Tampa Bay with the old boy. Shout out to Chickarelli from the West Coast. Yay. Hey, okay. Shout out to Lil Green Eyes Pete. Shout out to Charlo. Salute to you, my brother. Shout out to Ahmed. Shout out to my main man TJ Thomas Jones. Shout out to my sister Ficiana Fights. Hey, okay. Shout out, and that sister that know a lot about boxing, boy. She probably know more on her pinky finger than most of you fanboys knowing your whole goddamn entire body. Shout out to Misfit, my sister Misfit, man, the lovely Misfit. Hey, okay. Shout out to my brother Retro Boxing and Documentaries. My brother Blood right here in the FLA with the old boy. Shout out to Schoolo X-Man. Shout out to Rider of the Storm. Shout out to Philly Fly, So Fly. Hey, okay. Shout out to A Sneeze. Shout out to Dr. Paul Evans, the good doctor. Salute to my sister, Harlem's very own Arlette. Hey, okay. Shout out to Newark, New Jersey's finest, my sister Lisa Bales. Shout out to my main man from Detroit, Smith and West. Detroit versus everybody. Shout out to Punch Perfect Boxing, man. It is what it is, man. Shout out to Gary Hawkins from the 504, man. New Orleans finest. Con Shonery. Shout out to LaRon. What's going on, fam? In my opinion, what's up, fam? In my opinion. Shout out to O from Cali. Shout out to Boss Dog. Shout out to Daddy Red from Mississippi. Shout out to Adrian from Dallas, Texas. Shout out to Kane from North Carolina, North Cackalack. And I gave you guys my prediction. I got Gary Russell Jr. winning tomorrow. I have Danny Garcia winning tomorrow as well. And I don't know if we're going live tomorrow yet. I don't know yet, guys. So just turn on the notifications. Shout out to my sister Misfit. Shout out to Carlos Resendez. Shout out to Jay, man. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to the boxing scientists. Salute to you, fam. Shout out to Waddell. Shout out to Slide the Deal. Shout out to Killy Boxing, man. Eric 1984. Some rando. Salute to you, fam. If I forgot you, man, please forgive me, bro. It's a lot of people I may have forgotten. Shout out to Drew. Shout out to everyone who sent the super chat. I really appreciate it, man. I really, really do. Everyone that sent the super chat, I really appreciate that, man. It really does help us grow. Once again, it's our boy, Coach Malachi Williams, signing out. New Media Today, USA Boxing. And I always tell you guys, man, we're going to make it do what it do. Much love to everybody, man. And if they rock with us, cool. And if they don't rock with us, cool, man. We're going to go out like this here, though, man. You know what? Let's do it like this here, man. It is what it is, man. You know about motto. Don't meet me there, beat me there. I ain't gonna leave y'all hanging. The day is Friday. My motto, don't meet me there, beat me there. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.